And gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream. How are we doing today? Let me know what you're doing right now. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how you are as well. Hopefully you're good. And if you're watching this, I love you very much. I have been a busy man at the moment, busy man. I'm teaching again, so I've spent all day lecturing. Fly home on the bus, which is a bit unfortunate on a Friday. Not really what you want to do. Not really the luxury life, getting on the bus on a Friday afternoon. Anyway, got on the bus, came straight back, made sure all my graphics and stuff were ready, and bang, we're live streaming. Mr. Harry Pinero in the chat. Good to see you, HP. The man on his own redemption arc. Harry Pinero is going to prove everyone wrong. Prove everyone wrong. Hi from sunny Blackpool. I wish it was sunny in Nottingham. It's been a bit crap, the weather, actually. Stormzy sent a voice message. What do we think the chances are that this is appropriate to listen to on stream? Can I listen on stream? I'll wait just in case. We don't know if it's appropriate for a stream. Show your 11. I'm going to show my team. Listen, why are you are you only here to see my team? Are you not also here to see my face? That would be very sad if that was the case. Watching from Rainy Lincoln. HP, not the source. Absolutely. Ross, kiss me. Why is everyone flirting with me so much? God, chat. It's only 4:30 on a Friday. Calm down. Ross, your girlfriend's not real. Yeah. She is, but I mean, it'd be pretty funny if she wasn't. If she was just AI, then that'd be pretty funny. Everyone's waiting for the Udoggy leaks. We got some news. I can show you in a second. But yeah, listen, we probably will get early Spurs team news. Stick around for the entire stream. Kick back, relax, put the stream on in the background. You don't even have to really listen to me. Just put one in the background. That's absolutely fine. You're looking cute today. Love you. Got a chat. You're so flirty today. Goodness me. Right, let's get into my team. I've already made my transfers, chat. I am loving life. This is the most relaxed I've been about stuff in a while. I made my transfers last night because I thought there was a very, very, very small... Why is my vice captain on Watkins? Hang on a second. There you go. I thought there was a very, very small chance, and I mean very small, that there would be a price change that would price me out of my moves, and Saka actually ended up going up in price. So if I didn't make the moves last night, I would have been priced out. The moves that I made... Let me just save that. We're going to discuss captaincy in tons of detail, by the way, today. The moves that I made... Where did I do my transfer history? Where is it? Transfer history. At 10:58 PM last night, I brought in Saka and TSIMIKAS for Udoggy and Fernandes. Okay, we can listen to that in a sec. Yeah, Saka and TSIMIKAS in for Udoggy and Fernandes. Right? 0 in the bank. If I just go to my transfers, I had no wiggle room. And like I said, Saka rose. So I'm glad I did that last night. And this does go to show that occasionally early transfers are okay. Listen, the team's perfect other than two things. I don't own Erling Haaland. And I've got Alvarez on the bench. Right? If other than that, the team's in a great position. But I felt like... Listen, I know Udoggy isn't great to sell because I think he's a fine option. And Fernandes from GAMEWEEK 11 is great. I don't think there are many people that will sit there and say that Saka and TSIMIKAS in for Udoggy and Fernandes isn't a good move. And I think sometimes what happens when you just get these moves in FPL, you're just like, it feels like a really obvious set of transfers. That doesn't always mean that it will work out, but sometimes it all just lines up on paper, and for me, it feels that way. So now I'm on triple Liverpool. I've got Saka in there. I've got double Aston Villa, Bowen. I mean, the team's great. The team really is. How do you find your previous transfers like that? So if you scroll down on the I'll show you here. You can see what times you've made your transfer. If you just scroll down all the way, you can see it says transfer history in the bottom right. Right, if you click on transfer history, these are all the transfers I made this season. Funnily enough, I've actually only made 7 transfers. All of these were obviously on Wildcard, so I've not actually made many transfers. This was just me tinkering loads on Wildcard. But other than that, I've really made limited transfers this season. Right, let's see what Storms is saying.
So now, bro, I would have enough because I would have, if I have Odegaard in, then I will still have 1.3 in the bank. So even if Son went up in price, I could get Son at any time.
I don't know if you can hear this.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like Odegaard or Martinelli, Martinelli scares me because even with Jesus out, I'm like, I don't know, Trossard and Ketia, like, I don't know, innit? But maybe that makes him a stronger option, innit, with Jesus out. But yeah, either way, I could get Son back easy.
I like the sound of that. I think as long as you've got a route to Son, I don't mind the idea of doubling up on the Arsenal mids. These are Ødegaard fixtures. Sheffield United and Burnley are very, very Ødegaard fixtures. Sorry. I think Storm is on his wild card, and he's currently all over the place with it, by the sounds of it. This is the league, by the way. A couple of people wanted an update. HP is in the chat. Actually, very, very tight. Very, very tight, right? You got Chunks is top by 3 points. Then it's me. Then I'm only 3 points clear of Sharky. Sharky's only 14 ahead of Storms. And then Harry Pinero, actually, he's bringing up the rear, right? But improvements are being made. So HP's not too far off now. It's a very tight league, in all honesty. I was in fourth for a very long time. I think it is very tricky if you're on a wild card to still keep the likes of Son and that in. SK says, Noise. Mine is pretty much the same. I went Matoma, Diaby instead of Bowen Madison. I don't have cash, though. I made my changes a couple of days ago, so lucky. Very nice. Matoma is alongside, obviously, Haaland and Alvarez, which makes sense, right? I don't own Haaland. Alvarez is on the bench. Other than those two, Matoma's the one I'm really jealous of people own him. I would absolutely love, love, love to have Matoma. Would you have taken Gabriel instead of TSIMIKAS? In all honesty, yes. I think if I had the money and there wasn't money that I needed to use elsewhere, Gabriel is probably a better pick than TSIMIKAS because he's a longer-term hold. What hub are you contributing to? That's cheeky. Fancy football hub. The only hub you need. Is Udogie starting? Right, my prediction for Udogie is yes, Udogie will start, but I don't know that. That's not a leak. That is a prediction. There is one piece of sort of rumoured news that we do have, though. I prefer... there is one piece of news that we have. It's not really news as such, but I still will share it with you. So there's a guy on Twitter called... let me switch to my Twitter one. There's a guy on Twitter called Paul O'Keefe. And last season, it was really weird with Paul O'Keefe. So when he first just burst onto Twitter, he was just dropping early team news perfectly. I mean, he got everything spot on like days before the games. And then he just started getting loads of stuff wrong. So I'm a bit hesitant, but generally, where is it? Generally, he is pretty good. He does at least have some information from Spurs. And around someone asked about Udogie, he said he is fine and available for selection, but so is Davis. It's up to Ange to decide who starts. So he's kind of sort of hedged his bets there that if he doesn't, then he can just say, oh, well, it was up to Ange. But apparently he's fine and available for selection. I think Udogie will start. I think he's absolutely critical to that team. And I think if Udogie is fit at any point, he does start. So my prediction is a start for Udogie, but it's not necessarily a team leak as such. It's just a bit of an update on his fitness, I suppose. We do have a couple of super chats. Mason says 2 to start. Bowen, Diaz, Matoma, Bruno. I would start Matoma and Bowen. I would bench Diaz and Bruno. Bruno's got the most difficult fixture, and Diaz is the most of a rotation risk. But to be honest, Luis Diaz is going to start, so it's not easy. Karim says, Maddison and Neto to Saka and Adingra or Martinelli and Matoma. I prefer Saka and Adingra myself. Adingra is a really... If you need a cheap sort of £5 million midfielder, I love Adingra. He did play 90 minutes in Europe, so there is a small chance he misses out. But to be honest, Brighton just don't have the options on the right. They've got Bruno Notte who can play there, but he's not great and he's not had many minutes recently. Ansu Fati could play there, but he also played a lot of minutes in Europe. I think Adingra has just got to start at the moment, at least until Bruno Notte builds up his fitness a little bit more. And they don't want to take Fulham for like they don't want to just assume this is a win. They'll need to still put out a strong team. Bench Tsimikas, Cash, or Pedro Porro. I think it's got to be Pedro Porro there. JML says, would you sell Diaz for Martinelli? Firstly, that's a massive super chat, so thank you. Would I sell Diaz for Martinelli? I wouldn't do that. I think Luis Diaz will start, and I think he is an equally good option as Martinelli this week. Maybe in the long term you look to make that move, but this week, I think Diaz will start, and I like him for that reason. I expect Liverpool to score a few goals, honestly. How much do you value expected symmetry when making moves? Far more than I should. Far more than I should. Right, where was I? Father. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm very sorry for always doing it. Yo, sup, Ross? 91 points last game week. Now my team is. Okay. What do you think, mate? You've got Watkins. You've got Salah, Bowen, Maddison, Haaland, Alv. I mean, the team's perfect. You're just missing Salah, right? Not Salah, Saka, I should say. Yeah. Oh, and maybe Son. Okay. It's a good team. Son and Saka I would want. I think they're pretty essential for me. But other than that, yeah, it's a nice team. It's a nice 4-3, a nice 3-4-3. That's about as good as a 3-4-3 can be, I think. Who to bench? Gabriel, Tsimikas, Cash, Trippier, or Gahey? Great streams this week, by the way. Thank you very much for the kind words. I would bench Gahey. Oh, that is a tough one. I would bench Gahey and Tsimikas and play Gabriel, Cash, and Trippier. Should I transfer Anderson and for who? Also, I have Salah, Palmer, Son, Maddison, Neto, Watkins, Alvarez, Haaland. How important is Arsenal this week? Which Anderson is that? I don't really know, because you spelt it like the Newcastle one, but you've already given me 5 midfielders. How important is Arsenal this week? I think Arsenal are going to be very important, right? In the next 3 games, they've got Sheffield United at home, who are the worst defence in the league, and Burnley at home, who are the second worst defence in the league. So they play the 2 best fixtures in the Premier League in the next 3 games. I think it's worth getting an Arsenal player in if you can. I don't think they're essential. I don't think you have to, but I think it is worth doing. Neto and Saka, or Bowen and Martinelli and Matoma, or Bowen/Martinelli and Matoma. I would go Bowen and Matoma. But I do think you're going to want a route to Saka soon. I do think you are. Skimpton says, hi, start Lascelles and Augusto and Alvarez. Oh, start Lascelles or Augusto? I would start Lascelles. And Alvarez or Palmer? I would start Alvarez. I'd start Lascelles and Alvarez. I'd bench your 2 Chelsea boys. Brentford, if they turn up on their good day, they could put up a decent game. And I still feel like they're not quite there at the moment, Chelsea. I'm not saying they're far off, but they're not quite there. I'm aware that I will have missed super chats. They are flooding in, so I'm just getting to them slowly because I also want to answer people's questions from the actual chat. So do bear with me if I'm a little bit slower than normal. Will you doggy start? Don't ask me that right now because we're not going to get team news this quick. My prediction is that you doggy will start, but I can probably give you a definitive answer in about an hour, maybe just over an hour when we get early team news. I'm not saying we definitely will, but I think there's a very good chance we do get early team news, and I'll give you, obviously, that when I get that. But for now, my prediction would be yes. I don't think you need to sell him in the next hour unless you obviously aren't going to be around at the deadline. Right. We've got Ruben says, Diaby and Alvarez to Watkins and Adingra. -4. Don't like that at all. I like Diaby, like Alvarez. Watkins and Adingra are good, but selling Diaby and Alvarez this week feels like... I mean, that is an upgrade, but not for a hit. Maybe if it was for free. Phil with an F. Hello, Phil with an F. Welcome to the Rap Tier 1 family. I appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you to everyone that is becoming members at the moment. I really do appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon as well. So you can become a member on YouTube or you can become a patron. It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing, same perks. Do check it out. Links in the description. What to do with Foden? Also considering Fabian Schär to Cash with 2 free transfers. Fabian Schär out. I do like Cash. Not so sure about Fabian. Not so sure about selling Fabian Schär though. What to do with Foden? Sell him. I really think so. The fixtures aren't there. His data's really poor this season. I think Foden to Saka or Foden to Martinelli or Foden to Bowen or Matoma. There are so many good midfielders at the moment. I think get rid of him, honestly. If he returns, but the data's not there for him. Danny says, hi Ross, which is the better combo? Son and Gordon / Neto or Maddison and Alvarez? This is a decision a lot of people are going to be sort of going back and forth on. I like Son and Gordon there. I think Gordon is very, 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 very underrated at the moment. Yes, the fixtures aren't as good as some others, but I really still like Gordon. A lot of people looking to sell Gordon this week wouldn't be doing it in a million years. Ordered this bench: Maguire, Archer, Taylor. Taylor, Archer, Maguire. Taylor, Archer, Maguire. There's no way Maguire's keeping a clean sheet. Thoughts on Maguire versus Gahey? Maguire's okay for the next 4. If you can afford Gahey, Gahey's a much better option than Maguire. Maguire is great for 4.2. Don't get me wrong. I've got absolutely no issue with Maguire. I think he'll be fine. I do think he'll start almost every game alongside Varane, obviously until Martinez is back. And even at that point, we don't know if Varane will be fit. There is a chance that Maguire starts most of the Premier League games for the remainder of the season, if he stays fit. Because unless it's both Varane and Martinez are available, there's a good chance that it's Maguire that pairs up, right? So, sorry, someone's just donated a ridiculous number there. I'm trying to focus. What's happening? So I think Maguire is a really fine pick, but only if you need to go that cheap. If you can afford someone like a Gahey or a Burn, they are probably going to be better options. John says, what is your opinion on what to do with Diaby? I would keep him for at least the Luton game and then look to sell next week if he looks poor again. Not poor, if he doesn't look as good as he has been in the past. But I would keep Diaby for one more week. Max says, Porro, Maddison, Neto to Gabriel, Saka, Matoma for a -4. Do you know what? I do actually really like that. I would do that, Max. I'm not normally a fan of taking -4s to remove the likes of Maddison, but getting Gabriel, Saka, and Matoma, I don't mind that. Connor says, 2 free transfers, Maddison to Saka, Porro/Gahey to SAKA. Yes, I like that. I would probably sell Porro. Pritpal says, hi Ross, I'm on Wildcard like Storms. Big up to Storms. I brought in Palmer for Maddison as an enabler for next week when I bring Haaland back. Is that a good choice? Yeah, Palmer looks good for the time being. He's on penalties. He's getting good minutes. I'm a massive, massive fan of that. Absolutely no issues with Palmer. I do slightly prefer a Dingra to Palmer just because of the fixtures. Chat, who do we prefer? A Dingra or Palmer? If you're going for a £5 million asset, do you prefer a Dingra or Palmer? If you're making that decision, obviously look at whatever the chat says as well. Don't just take my opinion for it. But yeah, a Dingra's just got those fixtures, hasn't he? Jeremy says, hi Ross, would you go Solanke to João Pedro and Maddison to Saka, or just get Martinelli or Gabriel in? Solanke to João Pedro and Maddison to Saka. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Although, Solanke's got Burnley. Maybe that's not the week to do that. Maybe just go for Gabriel or Martinelli for now. Solanke out before Burnley. I do like João Pedro, but that feels a bit... I wish, obviously, if Bournemouth had a worse fixture this week, I'd like it a little bit more. Chintan says, Saka captainable over Salah. I am no Haaland. Should we do a captaincy poll? I feel like we might as well just get that out of the way and get a captaincy poll going. I know, again, by the way, seen a few people say I've missed their super chats. I shouldn't have. I'm just working my way through them slowly. But do not worry. If you have donated, I will get there. Captaincy poll. Captaincy poll for game week 10. We are going to go Salah. We are going to go Watkins, Saka, Haaland. You can only do 4 options, sadly, on the poll. So if it's not one of those 4, just vote for who it would be out of those 4. But in all honesty, I don't really see many options outside of those 4. I think they are the 4 obvious captaincy choices this week. Thank you to the 3,500 people that are here, by the way. If you are enjoying today's stream, please do smash that like button and make sure to subscribe as well. I do really appreciate it. Right. Let me get back to answering these here. We've got a super chat from Al Bluey, which was massive. Says, you've been a great help. I'm in the top 3K. Thanks. Firstly, thank you so much for the big super chat. Secondly, top 3K at this stage is ridiculous. I hope you go on and win it. Actually, tell a lie, I was 300th in the world at this point last season. Not there right now, but no, honestly, go on and win it. I'd love it if someone that watches the videos goes on and wins FPL. That would be absolutely amazing. That would be one of the best things to happen. Let me know in the chat what your current rank is, by the way. I reckon we've got some absolutely ridiculous ranks in there at the moment. We've also got a super chat, from Chintan, says Saka over... Oh, I've lost that. Saka captainable over Salah. Is Saka captainable over Salah? Yeah, I think he is. I don't think there's much in it. I think just Salah's just slightly more reliable and he's just got slightly better data. Wow, there are some really good ranks. Caught tons of people in the top 100k. All right, this makes me feel pretty bad about myself. All right, I don't want you commenting your ranks anymore. Get rid of those. You're making me feel very bad. You're making me feel very bad. Right, where were we? Should I keep Haaland on the bench? No, God no. God no. God no. If you've got Haaland, start Haaland. Maddison and Boa to Matoma and Saka. Don't like that. No, not for me. Who asked that? NB, not for me. Would you downgrade Archer to a £4.3 million forward on the wildcard draft you posted if 0 in the bank with Archer? Yeah, you could do. I mean, you're not going to use Archer very often. So yeah, go for Osula or something like that. And it would give you a little bit of money in the bank. How do I get Saka into this midfield? Would be for a -4. Bowen, Maddison, Son, DRB, Salah. I do genuinely think... I genuinely think Bowen's probably the only one you could sell there, in all honesty. Not Bowen, sorry, Maddison. You can't sell Bowen, you can't sell Son. Maybe DRB, but not this week, and then Salah. It's got to be for Maddison, is the only way that I would do it. To be honest, a lot of people are asking about Saka to Maddison. I'm sorry, Maddison to Saka, I should say. Maddison to Saka, for me, is fine for free. I think it's a slight upgrade. When you're talking about for a hit, it depends on who the other transfer is. And I think you then need a bit of luck on your side as well. I think you then need a little bit of luck as well. So I would say yes for free. I have no issue with doing Maddison to Saka. But if it's for a hit, I'm less sure. Yelena FPL in the chat says, I'm stressed. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Marcus in the chat as well. Look at all the moderators turning up late. Outrageous. Marcus, I thought you work on a Friday. What are you doing in the chat? Oh, chat, I'm so behind on these super chats. For 7th and 8th attacker, do you prefer Matoma and Mubama or Adingra and Nketiah? Adingra and Nketiah is spicy, but I think Nketiah won't get as good minutes as you think. There's a lot of people saying that Trossard and Havertz might rotate with him for the number 9 spot. I think Matoma and Mubama and keep as much money in your starting 11 as you can, probably. But I like Adingra and Nketiah if you want a bit of spice in your life. Sell you Doggy for Gabriel and Maddison for Bowen. Yep. I'm fine with that. Love the channel. Maddison and Neto to Adingra and Saka. Maddison and Neto to Adingra and Saka. Yeah, I like that. Or you Doggy to Gabriel and /SIMIKAS and roll. No, I quite like Maddison and Neto to Adingra and Saka. If that's for free, yes. If it's for a hit, no. I think it's for free, so I would probably do that, Richard. I'm a big fan of that. Alex H says, bench one of Bowen, Maddison, Darwin, and Alvarez. You sound like you're in a similar position to me. Bench one of Bowen, Maddison, Darwin, Alvarez. By my logic, I would say Alvarez, but I need to ask you guys in a second what you would do, to be honest. Marcus is tending to his other job right now. Would you get Saka or Matoma this week, Daddy Raptor? Saka. Sheffield United are really bad. And Saka's amazing. And I think Saka's a season keeper. Get Saka in now and keep him there. I made the mistake recently of removing Saka. Terrible decision. Get Saka in your team and just hold him there for the rest of your life until he gets injured, which he doesn't tend to very often. I regretted removing Saka immediately. You missed my Trent super chat ages ago. It was £5. I'm sorry, Harry. I didn't see that. I'm very, very sorry. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I found it, Harry. I bought in Trent last week instead of Trippier. How many game weeks would you give him to return? How many game weeks would you give him to return more than a clean sheet before transferring out? Oh, you've got to give Trent at least 4 to 6 game weeks, Harry. I think it's a fine transfer. Arguably, Trent is a better option than Trippier if you look at the fixtures. It's just obviously Newcastle was so good defensively. Okay, Laura says, should I transfer out Anderson? And if so, who for? I have to play him. I would just play him. Anderson's a really good hold, Laura. I don't think you need to sell Anderson. Owen says, Martinelli in for Maddison. I don't mind it, but I don't love it. I think Maddison's a better asset than Martinelli. FPL Bentley says, Mbermo to Matoma / Diaby for a -4. If so, which one? Mbermo to... I prefer Matoma to Diaby. Do we agree with that, chat? Diaby versus Matoma? I think Matoma's the clear winner at the moment. Diaby's just not quite at it. He's just not quite at it. Yeah, I think Matoma's the clear one for me instead of Diaby. I would say Matoma, Diaby, and Mbermo at the moment, but in a few weeks, Mbermo will go straight back to the top. I really want Matoma. I think if you can afford to get a Matoma in for free, and maybe you can't stretch to a Saka this week, Matoma against Fulham at home is delightful. I'd love that. I would absolutely love it. 2 free transfers, Diaz and Maddison to Saka and Matoma. Is that forced? Yeah, I do think that is forced, Dennis. Diaz and Maddison are fine for this week, but it's for free. So whilst it does feel a bit forced, it is for free, so I don't hate it. Alexander says Palmer and Cash or Gordon and Pau Torres. Palmer and... Wow, that's a different... Palmer and Cash. Palmer and Cash. Ben says, Haaland out with Saka and Watkins in, or Trippier out with Tsimikas and Saka in. I would keep Haaland. I would rather lose Trippier than Haaland at the moment. I know I've got no Haaland, but at the moment, I think Haaland is fine to bring back in. If I was wildcarding now, I would have Haaland in my wildcard. Do I still have my wildcard draft here? Is this my wildcard draft? There you go. If I were wildcarding at the moment, this is what I would go for. And you can see Haaland's in there. So, yeah, I wouldn't be taking Haaland out at the moment, unless you need to. Unless you really need to. Or unless you want to. Unless you want to have some fun. Because, I'll be honest, this is the most fun I've had in FPL for a long time. So I understand why you might want to sell him. Sorry, I was just finding back where I was. Finn says, Matoma, Diaby, Cash, Zinchenko, or Son, Adingra, Pau, and Gahey. Oh. I like... maybe the Son and Adingra option. I love Son and I love Adingra, and I think Gahey's a really good long-term hold. Best Foot says, Alvarez to João Pedro, you doggy to £4.1 million defender, or Maddison straight swap to get Saka. I think Maddison to Saka for free. If you can do Maddison to Saka for free, I think that's an upgrade. I'll keep saying that. Maddison Saka for free is a yes from me. But do acknowledge it has the potential to go wrong, because Maddison is an excellent asset. But with the way that our teams are set up, you're going to have to make difficult decisions. Smells Like Yellow says, hi Ross, can you say hello to my girlfriend? But I don't know how to pronounce her name. How to pronounce... Is it Kaira? I don't know how to pronounce it. I've got the spelling. I'm going to go Kaira based on Google. She's a big fan. Hello, sorry for butchering your name. Sell Højlund and Diaby for Saka and Edouard, or another £5.5 million forward. What is Nketiah? What is Nketiah's price? 5.5. Nketiah. Bring Nketiah and Saka in. Yeah, he might not get perfect minutes, but I like him. Other than that, Lyle Foster. I would go for Foster. Really decent option. Okay fixtures. And also, really good data. What are we thinking? Is anyone interested in a punt on Nketiah? Is anyone interested in a punt on Nketiah? I don't mind it. But I do think that there will be games where Trossard and Havertz start instead of him, or maybe come on quite early for him. Dear Lord, I'm very behind. Sophie Lewis says, 2 free transfers, Diaz and Maddison to Saka and Matoma, or Trent and Diaz to Gabriel and Saka. Oh, I'm not sure about either of those, Sophie. Losing Diaz and Maddison or Trent and Diaz. Does Diaz need to leave this week? He's got Nottingham Forest at home. Listen, Saka and Matoma is an upgrade on Diaz and Maddison. So 4-3, maybe, yeah. Maybe that is the one. But it still feels like a little bit... I still don't know how I feel about that. Bob says, hey, Ross. Hey, Bob. I have 2 free transfers. Bob's such a cool name. Hey, Bob. I have 2 free transfers. Should I do Luis Diaz and Maddison to Saka and Matoma? Or Luis Diaz? Everyone wants to sell Luis Diaz. I'm a bit unsure. Like, I'm not saying he's a great option, but is this the week to... I kind of get it. You want to move to Saka. Fair enough. Or Luis Diaz and Porro to Saka and TSIMIKAS. I would go for that one. I'd go Luis Diaz and Porro to Saka and TSIMIKAS, Bob. I like that. I like that a lot. Listen, by the way, I don't think Pedro Porro and Udogie are bad options, and they could continue to do very well. But with the fixtures coming up from a defensive perspective, I think there are better players to own than Porro and Udogie. Porro's a more difficult one to sell because his data's still very good. Udogie's data's not even there at the moment. I've got Diaby, Mbermo, Maddison, Gordon, Darwin, and Morris, who could be sold, but 0 in the bank and 1 free transfer. Mbermo to Matoma or Morris to Pedro, help. Morris to João Pedro feels like a bigger upgrade. Mbermo to Matoma is less so, but Matoma is the better option. I would go Mbermo to Matoma, just because I would really want Matoma in, if possible. Would you take a -4 to swap Hudson-Odoi for Adingra, or take a -8 and get in João Pedro/Gordon or Matoma Archer for Hudson-Odoi and Beto? I would go Hudson-Odoi to Adingra. Sounds good to me. I like Adingra. If you give me an option with Adingra in there, I'm going to be a big fan of it. I will admit that. I just think he could be really nice for 5 million. Daniel Butler has given me his team. Says, Ross, my 11 is... I won't read that out because it's repetitive. But 0.3 in the bank. Really want Matoma. Who would you bring him in for? I don't think you need to. But Luiz, I don't think Douglas Luiz is the best option. I would maybe wait a week, though. I think your team looks perfect, Daniel. I think maybe you're rushing players out just because of a bit of FOMO. A lot of people are tearing apart perfectly good teams and taking hits just for a bit of FOMO. There is a captaincy poll, by the way, in the chat, so do vote on captaincy. At the moment, we've got 65% on Salah, 19% on Watkins, and then 8% on Saka, 8% on Haaland. So at the moment, Salah is comfortably the leading favourite for captaincy, closely followed by, followed by Watkins, and then Saka and Haaland just aren't popular. I think a cheeky punt on Saka or Haaland could be really nice for captaincy. Fareed says, love the stream, Ross. Keep it up. Thank you very much, my man. I appreciate you being a member. Madison Bowen, Udogie for Saka, Matoma, Gabriel for a -4. No, why are you selling Maddison and Bowen this week? No. This is what I'm talking about with people just... Maddison to Saka I get, but Bowen out? Why are we selling Bowen? People are actually bringing Bowen in. I think we're just getting a little bit antsy, like wanting to bring in all the players that we perfectly want and trying to build a wildcard team. Just focus on the issues in your squad. The issues in my squad were Bruno Fernandes, didn't really want him, wanted Saka, and Udogie was a slight injury doubt. So those were the 2 places in my team where I thought I could maybe make transfers. I don't think you should be rushing out great assets just because of a bit of FOMO. Sam says, what are your thoughts on Raya getting benched? I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will happen. I think Raya is still first choice. Joel, much love from Australia. Bowen and Son or Saka and Bruno. Other mids are Salah, Matoma, Diaby. I think I prefer Bowen and Son. Bowen and Son, probably. But obviously, my opinion would be Son and Saka. I would wonder if there's a way that you can get Son and Saka in there. Martinelli and Maddison or Saka and Diaby. Oh, that is horrible. Is Saka and Matoma on option, Shane? Saka... Oh, that's a tough one. That really is. God, there are so many super. I'm getting through the super chats, but I don't want to again only answer. I feel really bad if I only answer people that give me money. So I'm going back and forth between super chats and the chat. So do bear with me. If you donated, I will answer your question. Right. We have got. Where were we? I've lost where I am. Did I answer that? Martinelli, Madison, or Saka and Diaby? Yeah, I said Saka and Diaby, but I would also... It was Saka and Matoma. It's even better, Shane. Victor says, Diaz or Madison to Saka? Diaz had the Europa League rest. Yeah, I would do Madison to Saka, and I'd probably hold Diaz for one more game. Wildcard, Bowen, Gordon, Matoma, or Son, Adingra, Palmer. One will be on the bench with an 8-man. Okay, if that's the case, the Son, Adingra, Palmer option I like. I like that, Chris. You can rotate Adingra and Palmer. You get Son in your team. I think I prefer that option. Yeah, I'll go for that one, Chris. Jordan says, budget is tight, and I've got 2 free transfers. Straight swap Madison to Saka, or Diaby to Saka, but then need to get rid of either Trippier or Darwin. I'd go Madison to Saka. Madison to Saka for free with 1 transfer is a nice move. Absolutely. That's the exact move that my girlfriend made this week. She went Madison to Saka, and I didn't mind it at all. How come Saka against Sheffield United is the 3rd best captaincy option according to chat? For me, he's first. I think there's some doubts around his fitness, and on top of that, Arsenal just haven't quite clicked this season. They've still been okay, of course they have, but they've not quite clicked. And so I think for that reason, you could potentially look elsewhere. Jordan says, budget is tight and I've got 2 free transfers. Straight swap Madison to Saka. Okay, I've done that one, sorry. Why not Bowen and Madison to Saka and Matoma? 2 free transfers. I don't mind that, but I don't get why you're removing Bowen and Madison. Madison, I kind of get to Saka. Bowen, I just don't get why you'd want to remove Bowen. I don't get. Let me know in the chat, what is your current midfield 5? I'll be interested to see kind of the template at the moment. Who are your current 5 midfielders? Just write them out, and I'll have a look in a second. Diaz and Alvarez to Saka and João Pedro. Pedro will be benched. If not, bench Diaz or Alvarez. Also could do Alvarez to Pedro to get... Okay, well, there's too many combinations here. Diaz and Alvarez to Saka and João Pedro. Yeah, to get Saka in your team, if you're going to bench Alvarez anyway, I like that. I like that move. Get Saka in. If you can get Saka in and it's comfortable to do so, then yeah, I get it. What are people saying for their midfield? Okay. Lots of Gordons. I like it. I just didn't expect to see him that popular. Lots of Salahs and Sakas and Sons. Salah, Saka, Son seems to be popular. And then it's just, I guess, the other 2. Lots of Gordons, a couple of Bowens in there. Interesting. Lots and lots of Madisons, a couple in there, maybe a few Matomas. So I think Son, Salah, Saka are going to be the 3 ones that most people kind of have. And then in and around that, there's some real differences, I guess. Akil says, doing a wild card this week, my balls are weighing heavy after having sold Haaland, but then do you play a 3-4-3 and start Alvarez? No cities may be mental. I don't think Alvarez should be decided based on whether you own Haaland or not. I view Alvarez as his own player. He's a great player, but I don't think he's essential. You could have, I don't know, Watkins and Darwin, as I've got here. You could have just a 4-5-1 with Watkins and have Trippier in there. Like, there are loads of different ways that you can approach it. I don't think you have to have Alvarez. Wissa to Darwin for a -4. I don't know about Darwin in front. We don't even know that Darwin's going to start. I'm less keen on that, Dash, mate. True Fandela says, Palmer or Ward-Prowse this game week? Palmer. Darren says, Haaland and Bruno out to Salah and Watkins. Bench of Solanke, Burnham, Porro. Bench boost. Yeah, that is a bench boost. Yeah, that's a bench boost, for sure. Definitely, Darren. I would bench boost that a million times. The only thing is you've probably got Turner, haven't you? So you do kind of lose the goalkeeper from your bench boost. But Solanke, Burnham, Porro is a lovely bench to bench boost with. Tyler says, you doggy to TSIMIKAS for a -4 or Foden to Matoma. I'm not a massive fan of either of those, but Foden to Matoma feels like the higher upside move. Sorry, super chats are glitching out slightly. Let me go back to those in a sec. FPL Pickle in the chat says, greeting. Good to see you, Pickle. I hope you're having a good day. Diaby out for Saka. I am going to say get Saka in for anyone other than Son and Salah for free is a yes. If it's for free. And there are no other issues in your team. But I do still feel like Diaby is... Listen, he's not been great recently, but the fixture's there, and I would probably hold Diaby. But if there is a way to get Saka, and I just feel... It's not necessarily because I think Saka's going to go out and get like 30 points this week. I just think that Saka is a player you will want at some point back. Why not bring him in before Sheffield United and Burnley at home? Might as well get him in now, because I think you are going to want him long term. Andre says, Ward-Prowse to Matoma for a hit. Diaby to Martinelli. Sorry, I answered that in my head. Yes. Diaby to Martinelli or Maddison to Saka or roll. Maddison to Saka for free, I would do. Ødegaard to Saka. Not this week. Or Diaby to Matoma. No. I say no to both of those, Henny G. XIX Torment says, I have Salah and Saka, but something is telling me to captain Haaland. Go for it. I'm not going to talk you out of captain Haaland. Man United are pretty stinky. Haaland is pretty good. No issues with that. Should I keep you doggy on the bench? I have no one to swap. Should I keep you doggy on the bench? Yeah. I think you doggy will start tonight, honestly. Do you prefer Son and Gordon or Bowen and Diaby? Probably Son and Gordon. Son and Gordon. Pawan says, Gordon to Adingra / Palmer, Alvarez to Ferguson. No, I would keep Gordon and Alvarez. Don't like either of those. I'd keep Gordon and Alvarez myself. Ross, if you're free, can you rate my wildcard in DMs? I can in a second, mate. Well, not in a second, but in a bit. I'm currently plowing through missed super chats. Is Sofal injured, Ross? I don't think we got an update, unfortunately. Oh, my camera's gone. Nice, perfect. I think he'll be fine. It doesn't sound too serious, but I don't think we got an official update on Vladimir Sofal, sadly. Nikhil says, hey Ross, fellow egghead here, much love. What do you think of a -8 to sell Trippier and Alvarez for cash and Watkins and then captain Watkins? Sell Trippier and Alvarez. Oh, I don't know about that. For a -8. Oh, I'm not sure about that, Nikhil. I do like the upgrades, but for a -8, I'm not sure. Start Burn or Udogi? If we get confirmation Udogi starts, Udogi. If there are any doubts, I feel like Dan Burn is absolutely fine. Dan Burn's playing in the better defense with probably an equally decent fixture on paper. I'd probably go Dan Burn if there are any doubts about Udogi's fitness. Oh, God, the camera's not working still. Code red. Alex says, love your channel. Start Edison or Areola. I'd start Areola. Back the fixture for sure. YT says, backline, Trippier, Cash, Estepinian, Botman, Udogi. Is it worth a hit to ensure I have a defense? Not a hit, no. If it was for free, I would say yes. I'm not sure I'd take a hit for any defenders at the moment. There just aren't any that really strike me as having the upside to be worth taking a hit for, unless it's as part of a bigger move where you're bringing in the likes of Watkins and Saka. So I would say no. I would just hope that Udogi starts. If we get confirmation Udogi doesn't start, then yeah, maybe you make that move. Right, I'm back. Hi, Ross. What would you do with Alvarez based on Pep's comments? What were Pep's comments? I didn't see Pep's comments on Alvarez. Were they bad or good? Let me have a look. I've been lecturing all day, so I didn't see, like, in-depth stuff. I don't know. I've just searched on Twitter Alvarez and nothing's coming up, so they can't have been that significant, whatever the comments were. Sam says, hi, Raptor. Team is Areola. Okay, you've given me your entire team. Hoyland on the bench, but I want him in. No, you bench Hoyland. Yeah, you've got to bench Højlund there. You've also got Rashford and Bruno Fernandes still. I don't think you want triple United attack against City. I mean, as much as I would love that to be successful, I don't think that's ever going to be successful. So no, I think you bench Højlund. I am going to ask for help in a second from you guys and from the Will, because I don't know about my own benching decision. I've got a bit of a benching headache myself. It's not ideal by any means. And I know that's part of what happens when you sell Haaland, but it's still not great, is it? I'd rather not have it. Who gets more points game week 10 and 11, Watkins or Haaland? Haaland. I think Haaland. Abdul Rahman has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much, Abdul. I appreciate that very much. Welcome. Can you rank Matoma, Bowen, and Alvarez? Bowen, Matoma, Alvarez. Bowen, Matoma, Alvarez. For me. That's just an opinion, though. I mean, all three of them are great options. Parker says, Udogi in my 11, already used 2 free transfers. Dallo and Taylor on the bench. Do I take a -4? No, I would just play Taylor. If you've got any doubts about Udogi, I think we should get early team news, but if you've got any doubts, you just play Taylor. Johnny says, Ross, would you hold Foden or get Saka? Get Saka for Foden, absolutely. For the next 2 weeks, your choice between Bowen and Matoma. Matoma for the next 2, but I do like Bowen longer term. But for the next 2, yeah, it's got to be Matoma, I think. For the next 3, even maybe Matoma. Keep Diaby or sell, but for who? I would keep Diaby, Tom. Daniel says, thank you very much. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate the super chat. We are getting there, working our way through. I really wouldn't be selling Diaby this week. Listen, I understand the frustration. He's not been great recently, and Watkins has just been banging in the points. So if you chose Diaby instead of Watkins, which for what it's worth, when people made that choice around sort of game week 5 and game week 6, I would have done the same. If I were to have brought in one of Watkins or Diaby around, you'll remember in my videos, I was saying Diaby looks great. Watkins is ticking along but doesn't look quite at it. And then around just before that 23-pointer, it just looked like something clicked with Ollie Watkins. And then that 23-pointer since, then an 11-pointer. Watkins has just found another gear. And it looks like Diaby has been the one to be sacrificed slightly in this slight change in the setup for Aston Villa. But I would keep Diaby, honestly. Sorry, having a little swig of water there. Done a lot of talking today. ATA says, sell Pedro Porro to fund a Maddison to Saka move for a -4. Maybe. I already have Gabriel, Cash, SIMIKAS. If no, who to bench? Porro, SIMIKAS, Cash, Gabriel, or Alvarez? If you don't, I think you've got to bench Pedro Porro there. If you are to, I think you bring in Gahey. Gahey rotates really nicely with that defense. So yeah, I don't mind it, you know. Porro to Gahey, Maddison to Saka doesn't feel terrible. Feels like a decent enough set of transfers there. Start Alvarez or Solanke. As always, great content. Thank you very much. I'd start Solanke. Is it Burnley at home, isn't it? I'd start Solanke, honestly. Gordon or Adingra? If you can afford Gordon. If you want to leave some money in the bank or you can't afford it and you're going to have to take hits to do it, I still like Adingra. I think Gordon's still going under the radar as a pick. I really do like him a lot. Pick one. There'll be my third and fourth defenders. Pau Torres and Gahey or Luca Dina Maguire. Pau Torres and Gahey, I think. I want to go Bowen to Matoma to afford Saka for Maddison. I get why you're doing that, but I still don't like the idea of selling Bowen. I understand that Matoma allows you to go Saka to Maddison. I still feel like selling Bowen and Maddison, it just seems wrong. They're two great assets. Like, I do get the desire to get Saka in, but God, that doesn't feel right to me. Fareed says, hi Ross, Maddison to Saka and Neto to Adingra. Perfect. Or leave Neto in, but do you doggy to Gabriel or SIMIKAS? I would go Maddison to Saka and Neto to Adingra, mate. I quite like that. Neto's good, but Adingra looks exciting with the upcoming fixtures. Aniket says, on Wildcard, Trippier versus Saka versus Alvarez can do 2 out of the 3 plus Haaland. I think you drop Alvarez. Trippier and Saka I would have then. I prefer Trippier and Saka to Alvarez, in all honesty. Barnsling says, on a Wildcard, Trippier and Adingra or Cash and Diaby. Trippier and Adingra, maybe. I don't know. Cash and Diaby this week against Luton. I'd probably go Cash and Matoma. Is that an option? If not, then maybe, yeah, Cash and Diaby. Maybe just for the next 3. But longer term, I think that's less clear. But yeah, maybe at the moment, Cash and Diaby. Cool. We've got just over an hour till the deadline. If you are enjoying today's stream, please do smash that like. Make sure to subscribe as well. We're not really on the road to anything at the moment, but I would still appreciate you subscribing. It does really support the channel. Yeah. And loads of content constantly as well. Loads of content. We had 6 pieces of content this week. Saka or Bowen? Saka for me. Saka's got to be the priority ahead of Bowen. Sorry, chat. I've lost where I was. Udogi to TSIMIKAS and Maddison to Saka, 0 in the bank. I like that, Elliot. Almiron and Burn to Diaby and TSIMIKAS. Yeah, I quite like that for free, Tom. I don't like that for a hit. But if that's for free, I don't mind it. For a hit, no. J-Pups, start Romero or Fabian Schär? Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär. Kamyar says, Ross, I need a cheap midfielder now so I can get Saka. Adingra. Adingra's got to be the one for me. Sell Son or Maddison for Saka or leave it. If you're going to sell one, Maddison, but I would be tempted to leave it. But yeah, if you're going to sell one and you can do it for free, Maddison to Saka, I wouldn't be selling Son at the moment, personally. I know a lot of people have and a lot of good managers have. Not sure. Hey, Ross, I have your mids, less Bowen, selling Mbeumo for Saka, but do I shift Jesus or Ruben Diaz to fund for -4? And for who? Great stream. I would sell Jesus. Jesus is out for a few weeks. So Jesus to any striker that you can afford that you like. May even be someone like an Alvarez. Mahir says, 1 free transfer, Maddison to Saka, Diaby to Bowen, or Udogi to Gabriel TSIMIKAS. Everyone's got a lot of similar decisions this week, don't they? Also, hope you're feeling better now, Lord Eggwood. Lord Eggwood, that's a new one. I like it, though. I am feeling slightly better, thank you. We can talk about all of that stuff post-deadline. Udogi to Gabriel feels quite straightforward there. And maybe roll the transfer. Not roll the transfer. Don't take a hit. I would go Udogi to Gabriel. Feels like a safe, nice move. Gordon or Udogi or Cash on the bench, only room for one. I would bench Udogi and start Gordon and Cash. If you can only start one of them, if that's what you're saying, then you start Cash. Jake says, Watkins or Saka for captain? Oh, I would just about put Saka ahead of Watkins, but Watkins looks more popular this week than for others. For other people, I should say. But yeah, I would personally place Saka ahead of Watkins. There is a poll at the moment in the chat if you want to vote on captaincy. At the moment, Salah is the clear favourite, which you would expect based on recent performances, and Watkins is second. Not many people seem to be liking the idea of Saka or Haaland. I think I would captain Haaland this week. That's not even reverse psychology. I genuinely think if I had Haaland, I'd captain Haaland, you know? I would. But it's also a bit of emotional hedging for me because I'm a United fan. If we do well and Haaland blanks, I would be delighted if I captained him. And if he smashes it, it's a small silver lining that at least I got the captaincy right. I do like to emotionally hedge sometimes in FPL. Where was I? Who to start, Sanchez or Areola? I would start Areola still. What's your team value? Do you try to manage it? My team value is 102.7, and yes, I do try to increase my team value wherever possible. Yeah. Hoyland to Wilson. This is the first time anyone's asked anything about Callum Wilson. Well, that I've seen anyway. Hoyland to Callum Wilson for free, or Hoyland and Udogie to Watkins and Maguire for a -4. I like a punt on Wilson, but you don't own Watkins, so I would go for the Watkins option. I like Wilson, but not instead of Watkins particularly. I like it more so as an addition. Paul says 2 free transfers, can't decide between Udogie to Gabriel plus Son to Saka, or Maddison to Martinelli, or Maddison to Saka by doing... Okay, I would do Udogie to TSIMIKAS and Maddison to Saka, Paul, if you're going to make one of those sets of moves. Lawrence says Udogie Neto out, DRB TSIMIKAS in. Love it, but I prefer Matoma. So if you don't own Matoma, I would go Matoma and TSIMIKAS in. What are your thoughts on Raya? Made a few mistakes recently, but I still think he'll be first choice. If we do not find out about Udogie, should I bench him for Lockyer? No, I would still start you. I mean, that's a nice punt there, but I know I would start Udogie still. I think if we don't get anything, I'm predicting he's going to start, in all honesty. That's only a prediction, but yeah, I do think that. Is Darwin even starting? I don't actually know, chat. Do we think Darwin will start? Liverpool fans in particular, talk to me. Oh, chat, I am a tired man. Been lecturing all day. Do we think Darwin... Why is everyone saying no? Tell me that Darwin will start. I want Darwin to start. Okay, 100% he starts. Listen, I'm getting it back and forth. Is he starting? Is he not starting? Don't lie to me, chat. Andy says, I've got Maddison and Luis Diaz. Would you do Saka and Matoma for free? So many people are ridiculous now. I didn't even know this many people had that combination. Are asking me Maddison and Diaz to Saka and Matoma. Yes, that's an upgrade, but it could go so wrong. It could go so wrong. If it's for free, I don't mind it as much, but definitely not for a hit. And just acknowledge that could go horribly wrong. No, I wouldn't do Neto to Gordon for a -4. I would be more interested in something like Neto to Adingra this week, Andy. I'd maybe leave Luis Diaz and Maddison and get Adingra in for Neto. That'd be more up the street of what I would do. On Wildcard, I need to decide between Haaland, Palmer/Adingra, Gahey, okay, or Alvarez, Bowen, Trippier with some funds in the bank. I would go Haaland, Adingra, and Gahey. I would have Haaland in my wildcard this week. Again, if you want to see my wildcard, I already did a video earlier today, but obviously you're not going to watch that now. So this is what I would do on a wildcard. But I would definitely have a Brighton attacker in a wildcard for sure. I think you've got to go for it. Start Zinchenko or Porro. I would start Zinchenko. There's a chance Zinchenko gets rotated, but I do think that Zinchenko will start. I think he's going to be critical to breaking down the Sheffield United defence. He's so good on the ball. He's so good at progressing the play as well. I think Zinchenko will be favoured. TP says Richarlison out for Diaby and bench Alvarez. Richarlison out for Diaby and bench Alvarez. No, I would start Alvarez. I'd start Alvarez. Matoma in for Richarlison or for a -4 or wait for game week 11. I would be tempted. But if Richarlison starts tonight, he's not a terrible option. I would be tempted, yeah. Schnaps. What a name. Schnaps. Says, on wildcard, would you lose value going Maddison to Saka? You're not losing... Right, this is the thing, right? If you've got money tied up in a player, it's only an issue if you think you want to bring that player back in very soon. I know you say you're losing value by selling Maddison for Saka, but you're only losing value if you want to bring that player straight back in because you have to buy them at a more expensive price. If you're not planning to bring Maddison back in for another 8 to 10 game weeks, I would argue you're not losing value because you're bringing in a player that you want more. That's how I try to view everything like that. Ellie says, hi Ross, I'm on a wildcard and having trouble deciding between two players. Adingra and Nketiah, Palmer and João Pedro, or Gordon and Archer. Palmer and João Pedro gives you 2 penalty takers. So probably Palmer and João Pedro on paper sounds like the best combination there. Extra 2 penalty takers. I like that. -4 for Neto to Matoma. Yes, that will pay back over the next few weeks. It might not pay back this week, but it will pay back over the future weeks. Joseph says, start Udogie or burn. This is a difficult one. Let me run a poll for that because a lot of people are having that same issue. Let me end the captaincy poll because it's not changing much. It looks like Salah is the most popular. Watkins is second. Who would you start? You doggy, who has got Crystal Palace away, or Burn, who has Wolves away? There you go. There you go, chat. I mean, if we get early team news that you doggy starts, then maybe we'll run another poll. But for the time being, based on the fact that we think he'll start, but we don't have confirmation, what would you say? Is Adingra nailed? He's not nailed, but he is definitely first choice at the moment. Basically, Adingra plays on the right wing for Brighton, and Brighton's right wing options are Solly March, Buonanotte, and Adingra. March recently has actually been playing at left back, and on top of that, he's now injured. Buonanotte has been injured, and he's not played many minutes. And Ansu Fati, whilst he can play on the right, is seemingly being preferred through the centre. So Buonanotte's match fitness isn't there, and he's not as good as Adingra. March is injured, and Fati's not playing on the right. So really, apart from the odd game where Buonanotte might start, I think Adingra is fairly nailed. But not completely nailed. Who to start? Pedro Porro or Darwin? Darwin. Definitely Darwin. Hey Ross, on Wildcard with a bad rank. 1, Bowen and Gordon and Maguire. 2, Bowen and Adingra and Gahey. Or 3, Matoma and Gordon and Gahey. I would go Bowen, Adingra and Gahey. I would go the second option. I like that one. Neto and Alvarez or Palmer and Watkins. Palmer and Watkins is the better combination there for sure. Alvarez to João Pedro, you doggy to a £4.1 million defender, or Maddison straight swap to get Saka all for free, says Best for. I would go Maddison to Saka. Maddison straight up to... Yeah, that one definitely. I have one spot, Diaby out. I have one spot for Diaby, Pedro, or you doggy. Oh, okay. I would go Diaby. Diaby for that spot. Martin says 2 free transfers. Trippier, Maddison, Douglas Luiz. Okay, well, you give me your entire squad there, have you? 2.8 million in the bank. Viable to get Salah, or use 1 now and get Salah next week. Yeah, I think the only way you're getting Salah there really is by selling Haaland. I would, yeah, maybe just use 1 this week. 1 this week. You could do Diaz to Saka if you wanted. Could you afford Douglas Luiz to Saka? You can't quite, can you? Yeah, maybe Douglas Luiz to Matoma. I'd sell Douglas Luiz. I know he's got Luton, but he's not a good pick. He's on penalties, yes, but that is literally it. How about Diaby to Adingra to afford Maddison to Saka? I don't know about selling Diaby before Luton at home. That just doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't. Ahmed says, on Wildcard, Maguire is the 4th defender. Have only 4.4 mil. Yeah, Maguire's fine. I like Maguire as a pick. The next 3 fixtures after Man City are beautiful. Abdullah, thank you for the super chat, says, Martinelli for a differential captain this week. Salah, Watkins are in my team, but no Saka. I don't like Martinelli captain. Unless you are someone that loves taking risks. I feel like that is an unnecessary risk to take. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of that. Do we have any early team news? Not yet, but we've got around an hour till the deadline. Usually in the next 20 to 30 minutes, we might start getting a couple of leaks. So do stick around, and I'll try to tell you which leaks are reliable and which ones aren't. Because some of them are reliable, some of them are less reliable, you know? Thank you for all of the super chats, by the way. I do appreciate it. You are making sure that food goes into my mouth, and don't worry, I'm getting round to the couple that I still haven't answered. But no, I do appreciate the support. Dara says, Ross the Boss, hello. Diaby and Alvarez to Saka and cheap striker. I can't wrap my head around selling Diaby. I'm sorry. Anyone that offers me an option where they are selling Diaby before Luton at home, mental. So I'm sorry. I'm not a massive fan of that. If you do want to, cheap striker, it's pretty much João Pedro or Foster. Or Nketiah. You could take a punt on Nketiah, but it's probably João Pedro for me if you can afford it. Oh, there we go. The next question. Is Nketiah a shout as third striker with Jesus now out? Yes, Ray, but I've seen a few Arsenal fans say that they still think that Trossard and or Havertz could be ahead of Nketiah in the pecking order. But to be honest, we've seen nothing from Arteta to suggest that he doesn't trust Nketiah. So I think Nketiah gets at least 2 starts, and I think he'll get good enough minutes that he may still be worth a punt at 5.5. But yeah, I will just put it out there that a lot of Arsenal fans are saying that Nketiah might still not get perfect minutes or anything. Sheen says Alvarez to Archer and Ward-Prowse to Saka. Yeah. Yeah, you're basically switching Alvarez for Saka, aren't you? Yeah, I like that. And you're removing Ward-Prowse, who isn't a great option. Yeah, I like that, Sheen. Jax has currently got Alvarez and Haaland up top. Is there too much reliance on City? No. No, that's fine, Jack. You're fine. They've got Man United and Bournemouth in the next 2. Bournemouth in particular look an absolute state. I think that's perfect. CLCC says play 1 and Burmo, Wissa, Bruno or -4 to get Saka. I would play Bruno and hope for some jammy penalty at home. Maybe. But yeah, Saka's fine. It depends who you're removing to get Saka. I've not seen the entire team there, so I can't really answer that one, sadly. Ben says Son, Matoma, Palmer. Okay. Versus Maddison, Diaby, Gordon. Son, Matoma, Palmer for me. You could even get a Dinger instead of Palmer. Jamie says Madison to Bruno. Madison, Bruno to Matoma, Saka. Yeah, I like that. Madison, Bruno to Matoma, Saka looks good. Bench Pedro, Alvarez or Diaby. I would bench João Pedro because there's a small chance João Pedro doesn't start. Whereas Alvarez and Diaby will start. Craig says start Pedro Porro or Saliba. Saliba. Jack says, would you rather Udogie and Højlund to Gabriel and Darwin or Udogie and Diaz to Tsimikas and Martinelli? Could also do Højlund and Diaz to Pedro and Saka. I like that one. Højlund and Diaz to Pedro and Saka sounds nice to me, Jack. Obviously, slight risk removing Diaz, but I like Pedro, I like Saka. Just a note, as I said with the previous section, there is a chance João Pedro doesn't start this week, but I think over the coming fixtures, João Pedro will start more than he doesn't, just due to the injuries that they've got. Bilal says Neto to Gordon or Palmer. I would go Neto to... I prefer Gordon. If you can afford Gordon, I like Gordon a lot. Shaunak says 2 free transfers, Diaby and Nketiah for Madison Broja. And should I take a -4 for Udogie to Tsimikas / Gabriel? Let's wait to see if we get early team news on Udogie. I wouldn't... I don't like selling Madison for Diaby massively. If that was Matoma and Nketiah for Madison and Broja, I'm a bigger fan of. Murphy says, who to start out of Tsimikas and Palmer? I'd start Palmer. On penalties, decent fixture at home. Yeah, I'd go Palmer ahead of Tsimikas. George says, sell Madison or Bowen to get Saka. If you have to sell one, Madison. Yeah, I don't like selling Bowen. He's a really good price, good fixtures. Ben says 6.3 million. Sell Mbermo for Ward-Prowse, Adingra, Barnes, or others. Definitely not Ward-Prowse. It would be probably Adingra or Gordon. Adingra or Gordon would be the 2. Justin says Burn, Cash, Gabriel, Tsimikas. Who to bench? Dan Burn. Out of those options, Dan Burn. Free hit team. Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel, Cash, Diaby, Watkins, Matoma. That kind of team. I just target the fixtures, right? You'd want triple Arsenal. You'd want triple Villa. You'd want a couple of Brighton players. And you probably want Salah in there as well. It wouldn't be too far away from the wildcard teams. You would just maybe have a couple more Arsenal and Brighton in there to really target those nice fixtures this week. You may also have someone like a Solanke in there if you want to take a bit of a risk. Chat, right. Next question I need help with. By the way, that Burn versus you doggy poll is basically 50-50. Basically 50-50. Yeah, next question that I need help with is who would you bench in my team? Who would you bench? Right, this is bench in capital letters. Not who would you start. Who would you bench? Alvarez against Man United. Maddison against Crystal Palace. Or Darwin against Nottingham Forest at home. This is for my team, chat. I just need a little bit of help. Say bench again, bench. This is for my team. Who would you bench out of those 8 attackers? Please try and help me. Answer seriously. I would love your advice. Darwin's the only minutes risk, but he's also got the highest upside. So, Giandre says, Mr. Raptor, who do I bench? Ferguson or Bailey? Ooh, I would bench Bailey. 2 free transfers, Darwin to Nketiah and Diaz to Saka. Selling Darwin and Diaz. I don't know about that one. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no flex box to that one. Mbeumo or Bruno to Salah, or -4 gets Salah and Saka. Bruno to Salah. Bruno to Salah for free. If you can afford that for free somehow. I don't know how you can afford that for free, but yeah, if you can get that for free, definitely. Callum says Matoma/Diaby or Saka/Gordon. I would go... I think Saka and Gordon's the better combo. They're just about. Wildcard. Son, Diaby, Baldock. Or Saka, Matoma, Gabriel. Saka, Matoma, Gabriel. Definitely. Sadly. I would want Son in there, but that's definitely the better combo. Gabriel and Matoma or Porro and Gordon. Gabriel Matoma. Gabriel Matoma for sure. 1 free transfer. Saka in for Son. Have Maddison, but not enough in the bank. If you want to do that, go for it. I wouldn't sell Son myself. Do we have any Udoggy news? All we have at the moment, chat, if I just bring it back over here, is this from Paul O'Keefe. Doesn't always get perfect early team news, but often he is correct, and he definitely has a source. He's not just guessing, which some people do. He's put, about Udoggy, he is fine and available for selection, but so is Davis, so it's up to Ange. So it doesn't really tell us much. That's all I've got to go on at the moment, honestly. I haven't seen anything else. Oh, is this guy... I think this guy is quite reliable, isn't he? Is he quite... Chat, can anyone confirm if this guy's reliable? If so, Richarlison's out, Brennan Johnson's in. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Oh, here you go. I've been tagged in it. I don't know if it's reliable. Unfortunately, I've not really seen that guy's name before. But he's got... I've not blocked him, which means that he's not... He's not definitely a fake and a phony. But yeah, I can't confirm, sadly. Is Saka essential? I don't think anyone's essential. But yeah, he's a good player to own for sure. Oh, my back is dying inside. Peleg says, my defense, would you take a -4 for TSIMIKAS over Gahey? No, just play Gahey. Just play Gahey. I mean, no, you probably don't even need to play Gahey. No, definitely not. I mean, sorry, I looked at your team. Cash and Trippier are fine. Sofao, I think, will be fine. Taylor's got Bournemouth. Gahey, third sub. No, I would leave your team as it is. You don't need to take a hit for TSIMIKAS. Magna says, hi, Ross. Love the content. Always try to catch the stream. Thank you. If you watch the streams every week, by the way, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Bench one of TSIMIKAS, Cash, Gabriel, and Trippier. Ooh. TSIMIKAS, probably. Oh, I wouldn't bench Trippier. You can't bench Trippier, ever. Ever. Let alone against Wolves. I would bench TSIMIKAS myself there. Matoma and Gordon or Bowen and Adingra? I prefer Bowen and Adingra slightly, but that is a very close one. Chat, what do you think? Matoma and Gordon or Bowen and Adingra? FPL Scoped has been a member for 19 months. Thank you very much. Omar says, did you doggy to Gabriel, Maddison to Martinelli, or roll? I would roll. I would roll there. Oh, that's a loud engine outside. Luke says, is free hit a viable option for early wildcarders to attack spicy game week 10 punts, Brighton, Arsenal, Liverpool, or is game week 18 still template free hit? I don't mind the free hit this week, but I think game week, I would say I'm 50% likely to free hit in game week 18. We'll discuss that as we get closer. So game week 18 is the blank for Man City and Brentford. The reason is there's just not going to be that many blank game weeks this season. And I think a lot of them will be, we could be able to navigate them. There's also not going to be that many double game weeks. And remember, we've got a bench boost, we've got a triple captain, and we've got the free hit to use as well, plus the wild card. I just think if there's not that many blanks and doubles, then maybe just play it in the upcoming blank that we know is there in Game Week 18. The only way I will play the free hit in Game Week 18, though, is if I've brought back Haaland. If I still don't own Haaland by Game Week 18, which I think is unlikely, then there's no need to free hit because I'll be in a really good position probably with my team. A few people have questioned when I plan on bringing Haaland back in. It's game week 16, I think. Here. Right, I plan on going without him for United and Bournemouth. Doesn't sound great. Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, Villa. I'm not going to bring him in for these four. Right, there's no need. I'm not saying he won't score and won't do well, but they're not great fixtures. But for this spell here, I'm going to want him back. So the option I've got is, do I bring him back in 16 against Luton? It is away, but then obviously there's the blank. Or do I just wait until game week 19? The thing is, around that time, Salah's fixtures turn a little bit difficult. Right? Around here, not a great run. I mean, and in the blank, he's got Arsenal. So maybe I just sell Salah. If I do want him back for the blank, maybe I free hit. And then he goes off to AFCON, right? And Son goes to the Asian Cup. So the Asia Cup, I should say. So I don't think I'm going to need... I think I'll probably bring Haaland back in before the blank. Probably. Is the plan. So I've roughly penciled in game week 16 to bring Haaland back. Yes, I would love Haaland next week, by the way. Of course I would. But it's not that easy. Adam says, what is your opinion on Son to Salah? Son to Salah? For free? Yes. For a hit? No. I think Son, Salah, Saka, Watkins, those four there are absolutely critical to have for me. So I like selling Son for Salah because I think Salah's a better option, but I would try and find another way. That's why I sold Haaland. I didn't sell Haaland because I don't like Haaland. It's because I like some of the other options slightly more at the moment. Jacobta says, my wildcard, same video, thoughts on Nunes over Bowen. Oh, your wildcard's the same as in my video. What my thoughts on Darwin instead of Bowen? I prefer Bowen. The minutes are just so much more secure. I'm going to run a poll. Not run a poll. I'm going to spin the wheel. We're going to do a couple of wheel spins. I've already plugged this one in. We're going to find out what the wheel thinks about captaincy. Okay? We do love the wheel. The wheel's right a lot of the time. And we're going to spin it. Okay? Now, this is very sacred here on this channel. And we must listen to whatever the wheel suggests. I have never, on any occasion, I've never on any occasion disagreed with the will, and I've never gone against what the will suggests. That's a lie. Do you know what? I regularly disagree with the will. The will and I have a bit of a love-hate relationship, but do you know what? Let's spin it. We do first to 3 or best of 2. So it needs to land on this player twice. This is who to captain. The wind up. The wheel is on a wind up. Fine. See if I care. Oh, Haaland's the best. The wheel was such a boring little template lover. Oh, let's all love Haaland. Oh, Haaland's the best. Oh, let's love Haaland. Haaland friends. Piss off, Will. That's what I think of you. Oh, for goodness sake. For God's sake. The will pissing me off. Oh, I've had it up to here with the will. I'm tempted to just remove it from the channel at this rate. How they've got 5 options to spin from. How are you landing on Haaland twice? For goodness sake. Right, I say we do first to 3 rather than first to 2. Okay? I don't have Haaland, so obviously I can't captain Haaland, can I? Okay, here we go. Saka. Okay, we're getting into it now. The wheel just needed to warm up a little bit, you know? Just a little just a little warm up. Saka. Okay, so according to the will, it's Haaland, and if you don't have Haaland, it's Bukayo Saka. There you go. Okay, now for my own decision, this is who to bench. Okay, Alvarez, Darwin, or Maddison. This is who to bench in my team. Okay. Darwin. The Will just hates fun. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm starting to realise? The Will is a fun hater. Alvarez. Don't land on Maddison. Just give me one out of... Okay. Okay, so one more spin. One more spin, and then I'm going to stop spinning the wheel because it's been spun far too many times. It's getting all overly excited and overstimulated. I'm going to have stern words with the wheel at some point. The wheel hates fun. Just hates fun. In what world is that the... FPL Pickle says, of course you got the wheel out. But Pickle, you've missed it. Run the stream back a couple of minutes. We just spun for captaincy. I gave the wheel 5 options, and it landed on Haaland twice in a row. I don't even have Haaland. Twice in a row out of 5 options. Oh, absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. Apparently I should bench Darwin. I don't want to bench Darwin. I don't want to bench Darwin. That sounds terrible. No Saka or Son. All other premiums. Any thoughts? What do you mean? For like, what about that? That's fine. I don't really know what the question is. You're fine. You can't own everyone. As long as you've got most of your premiums and you're happy with the ones you've got, then that's fine. What's your opinion on bringing in Højlund as a fun aspect? I like it from GameWeek 11. I don't like it for the City game. And that's not fun. Owning Højlund against City is not fun. I would expect he gets absolutely nothing, but you never know. Would you recommend a -4 to get Matoma for in Burmo? Not for a -4, no. I've seen someone asking about a Rap Tier 1 chat. There is on Discord. If you message one of the moderators on Discord, you can get added to the Rap Tier 1 chat. And yes, there is one. Brereton. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. Hey, Ross, bench one of TSIMIKAS, Cash, or Gordon? TSIMIKAS. Lawrence says, great content as always, Ross. Keep pushing Trippier as the best FPL asset. I've certainly not been doing that, but I am very happy to have him on my team. Absolutely. Hey, Ross, I have 2 free transfers. Is Saka and a 4.5 defender or Neto and Trippier? Comfortably Saka and a 4.5 for Neto and Trippier, yeah. Or just do Rashford to Saka and save the other. Oh, I'll do that one. Yeah, do that one. Rashford to Saka for free. Yeah. Start Palmer or João Pedro? I'd go Palmer just because we don't know João Pedro's going to start. They're both on pens. I'd go Palmer. We have got just over half an hour until the deadline. Make sure to lock in your teams. I think I'm going to bench Alvarez, by the way. I know I was spinning the wheel, and I've run a poll here. But you actually agreed with me on Alvarez. I just think if Darwin starts, he's amazing. And yes, I don't know if Darwin will start, but if he does, he's amazing. I think that Maddison versus Alvarez, Maddison's just got better data. And I think he's involved in a high percentage of Spurs' goals. So I think Maddison is better than Alvarez. And I think Darwin's got the fixture there and the data that if he does start, he's worth it. Obviously, if Darwin's benched, I've made a mistake. I've made a big mistake if Darwin's benched. But I'm gonna assume that Darwin starts, which is probably the wrong thing to do, but I'm just going to go for it. I think it will be Gakpo on the bench, and I think Jota will be on the bench. I think it will be Diaz, Darwin, Salah as the front line. And that makes me want to captain Salah as well, because I think that Diaz, Darwin, Salah is the best front line for Salah. I think that's the best sort of attacking team. Flexbox says, really want Saka and worried about Liverpool minutes. Second free transfer I have, Bowen, Son, Maddison, Diaz, Salah, Darwin, Alvarez, Watkins with 0 in the bank. Oh, you have 2 free transfers. Yeah, you could sell Diaz and Darwin, I suppose, or Diaz and Alvarez, but I think you just rock with that team. And maybe do either make a defensive transfer. You could do Diaz to Saka and Alvarez to João Pedro or Nketiah or something like that is a way that if you want to get Saka in, Flexbox. Lewis says, any news on the Spurs lineup? Nothing yet. Apparently, Udogie is available, but we don't know if he'll be risked. That's all we have at the moment. We've got half an hour to potentially get some early team news. Just stick around for the next 30 minutes, and if I get anything, I'll obviously bring it straight to you. Let me just double check my DMs. Make sure I've not been sent anything, which I haven't yet. Okay, I can't see anything yet for early team news. What I would say on Maddison is, I said, because my girlfriend sold Maddison for Saka this week, and she was stressing over it a bit as well. Maddison doesn't strike me as the kind of player that is going to absolutely batter your rank, right? When you look at the XGI that he puts up in games, apart from that one game against Bournemouth, where he got an outrageous quantity of XGI, right? In recent games, 0.75, 0.65, 0.36, 0.25, 0.37, 0.52. He's got very consistent data, and data that would make you think that he will continue to get attacking returns. But he's not putting up, like if you look at Salah's data, 1.4, I know he's had penalties in here, but 1.42, 1.44, 1.52, 1.28, 1.71, 1.34. These are the kind of players that will batter your rank. Sonny, I think, is in a similar vein as well. Right, 1.19, 1.07. Maybe out of those, 0.85. just slightly better. So Maddison, I'm not saying won't ever haul, but he feels very much like the type of player that will just slowly kill your rank. Like over time, he'll just slowly tick along and slowly kill your rank. I don't think you're going to normally with Maddison be in a situation where he's going to go and get you like a 20-pointer. So I think maybe you'll be fine if you sell Maddison. We are on 900 likes, by the way, almost at 1,000. So if you are enjoying today's stream and you've not yet liked it, please do smash that like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. I would really appreciate it. Martin says, start Udogi or Zuma? Firstly, thank you for the super chat. Secondly, I would start Zuma. Decent attacking threat. We know he's going to start. Udogi's a slight doubt. If we get confirmation Udogi starts, maybe I'd be tempted to go back to him because Crystal Palace are just really, really struggling going forward at the moment with the injuries that they've got. But for the time being, Zuma probably. Maddison to Saka for a -4. Udogi to Gabriel for a -4 or neither. I would say neither because if Maddison gets an attacking return, Saka needs 2 just to pay back the hit. You need Maddison to blank and Saka to get something to make the hit worth it. I would try and do it for free next week. Myself, anyway. Nitin says, want to bring in Saka, 2 free transfers. Only options are Saka and Matoma in for Son and Neto, or Gabriel and Saka in for Trippier and Diaby. I prefer Saka and Matoma for Son and Neto. Because Neto is, I think, Matoma for Neto is a big upgrade. I don't mind that. Because I think in combination, that's the slightly better one. Would you play Burn over Zinchenko? No, I'd play Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko will play. Who shall I captain? Salah, Trent, or Darwin? Salah. Always Salah. Best minutes, penalties, best data. Well, actually, Darwin's got better data. I don't mind Darwin, but he's just not a prolific finisher, is he? He's going to miss everything. Every chance he gets, he misses. Did you see Darwin's miss, by the way? Let me know in the chat if you saw Darwin's miss yesterday. He hit the post with an open goal in the centre of the goal. I don't know how he managed that. Jeffrey says, Haaland or Salah captain? Great content, by the way. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I would just about lean towards Salah, but I certainly don't mind Haaland captain. I certainly don't mind it. Intended assist. Yeah, he meant to get the assist. He's trying to up his creativity. Fair play. I need to click my back 1 sec. I don't know if you heard that. That is outrageous. Oh, my Lord. Okay, that wasn't good. My back is a state. I think I broke myself. Bowen and Adingra or Diaby and Matoma? Diaby and Matoma is like a safer... I would go Bowen and Adingra. Honestly. Lewis says, sorry if this has been asked already, but Maddison or Alvarez? Maddison, Lewis. FPL Pickle says, be careful, you. Don't you worry. I'll be careful. Although that was a bit of a deep crack. No, that sounds sus. Listen, when I say a deep crack, whoa, sus. What I mean is I cracked my back. I'll say deep click. Rather than a crack, I'll say a click. Did you just fart? Chat, can we not start this again where everyone makes up rumors that I'm farting? We won't have that again. We had this a few months ago. There was a really loud engine went past. Everyone started making up rumors that I'd farted and it was the engine. I'm not farting. Stop with this nonsense. Tony says, on a wild card, what's your opinion on bringing in Højlund as a fun aspect? I have to downgrade Bowen to Adingra. Already have Gordon. Listen, fun is the most important thing in FPL. If bringing in Højlund would make FPL more fun, I would absolutely do it. Bowen to Adingra doesn't feel great, but I do think Adingra is fine. It's all about how you want to play the game. The way that I enjoy the game is by getting as many points as possible. And I feel like bringing in Højlund ahead of Man City isn't the best way. I suppose because you're on a wild card, it makes it a bit easier, but I'm still not overly keen on that. I wonder, can you put someone else in instead of Højlund and then make the move next week with the transfer? Address the fart allegations. What do you mean address the fart allegations? There's nothing there to be said. Hey, Ross, who is the best striker under 6.5, please? I think João Pedro, Foster, or Nketiah, probably. Probably be the way I'd go. Wait, what's Solanke? His fixtures aren't great, though, coming up, are they? Let me have a look at forwards. I need to go forwards first. Solanke is there, but yeah, the fixtures are a bit of a mixed bag, aren't they? I would go... What's Edouard's minutes been like? They're not bad. I don't hate Edouard. I would probably go for Foster, because the fixtures are actually okay for Burnley. So I would go for Foster, or I would go for Nketiah if you want to take a risk, or João Pedro. For me, it'd probably be Foster or João Pedro I would punt on, just due to the fixtures. Nap time. Do you know what? Speaking of nap time, I would bloody love a nap right now. Ross, Neto and Darwin / Alvarez to Saka and João Pedro. Wouldn't start João Pedro, or Maddison to Saka straight swap. I like Neto and Alvarez to Saka and João Pedro. I'm all for that. Yeah, I'm all for that, you know. I just think Neto's fine, but I think getting Saka in for Neto is worth the downgrade that you make on your forward. That feels massive to me. So I would go for that nap time. Thomas Powell says, you want to see my girlfriend? Shout out to Proactive Chiropractic in Cardiff. Listen, I mean, Cardiff's a long way for me to go, but if you are telling me that your girlfriend will sort me out, that sounds sus as well. None of that. If your girlfriend will fix my back, I will come to Cardiff. Proactive Chiropractors. Sort me out, please. Desperately need my back to be fixed. Do I get rid of Diaz for Matoma or roll? I would roll. Yeah, I would roll. Sahil says, Ward-Prowse to Bowen / Matoma for a -4. Is it worth it? Do you know what that probably is long term? I would be tempted to make that move. Maddison to Saka. Okay. Foden to Salah. Haaland to Evan Ferguson. Is that worth a -4? I don't like Evan Ferguson long term, but yeah, probably is, to be honest. That probably is an upgrade. But you are selling Haaland ahead of Man United and Bournemouth. I don't know. I would want to keep Haaland, but I'd also want Salah, so it's a tricky one. James says, Watkins / Haaland captain. I prefer Haaland. Start you Doggy or in Burmo. I would start in Burmo. Just because he's on penalties. Khan says, Bowen or Diaby? Bowen. Well, if it's to start this week, Diaby. If it's just to bring in or on your wild card, then Bowen. But this week, the Diaby's got the fixture of dreams. Tyler says, what are your thoughts on Foden this week? I don't like Foden. The stats are so bad. Johan says, Haaland and Ward-Prowse for Watkins and Salah -4. That does feel like an upgrade, yeah. That does feel like an upgrade. Do we have any early team news? I don't think so, weirdly. I thought we would have got something by now. I don't know. So the guy that gave us early team news earlier that said that Richarlison was out of the team said he doesn't have any news on you, Doggy. As of yesterday, no left back was confirmed, so it will be a late fitness test, I assume. If that's the case, if they are running a late fitness test, it probably means they want to start you, Doggy. Otherwise, they would just start Davis. So I reckon you, Doggy, gets the nod. I think you, Doggy, will start, but that's just a guess. It's really nothing other than a guess, in all honesty. So maybe don't trust that. Polkit says, how are you feeling, bro? I'm feeling okay, mate. A bit tired today, but I'm feeling good, thank you. You, Doggy to Gabriel, Ward-Prowse to Matoma. or Trippier to Gabriel, Ward-Prowse to Saka. It all comes down to whether you want to hold Trippier or not, mate. Because I think Udogie to Gabriel, Ward-Prowse to Matoma sounds wonderful. If you want to hold on to Trippier, I would do that. If you're happy selling Trippier, getting Saka in for Ward-Prowse sounds amazing. So I would do that, my friend. And thank you for the continued support as well. Autocorrect. Haaland and Ward-Prowse for Watkins and Saka. I'm less keen on that, Johan. I thought it was to get Salah in. I think I would try and find other ways to sort out your team. I don't know that I would sell Haaland for a -4 not to get Salah in. Salah's the only one that would really make me want to do that. Osvaldo says Trippier and Bowen or Burn and Son. I think Burn and... Oh. I think Burn and Son puts you in a better position with your team. You can always downgrade Son. And I don't think you want that much money invested in your defense at the moment. Saka and Adingra in for Maddison and Neto for a -4. Again, I don't know about for a -4 for that. But yeah, probably just in that case, because I think I like Adingra more than Neto for the upcoming fixtures. Would you have Trippier and Bowen or Son and Burn? I've just done that exact one, and I'd say probably Son and Burn. Burn or Udogie for TSIMIKAS and Diaz for Matoma. I would sell Udogie before Burn, and I don't mind bringing in TSIMIKAS. Yeah, I did that myself. And I wouldn't sell Diaz for Matoma, no. Haaland or Saka or Watkins for captaincy. I actually genuinely think I'd go Haaland. I do. FPL AG on Twitter says, Udogie starts. Are they reliable? Let me see if I recognize. I've never seen anything from them before. I think they're just trying to be I think they're guessing. I can't see any evidence that this account that is apparently leaking Udogie starts that I can't see anything from them in the past that would suggest they are reliable. Maybe they will be in the future, but for now, we're not necessarily seeing that. Archie says Hwang Hee-chan or Diaby is the differential. I prefer Diaby with the fixtures that they've got. I would go Diaby, yeah. Diaby or Douglas Luiz? Definitely Diaby. Douglas Luiz's data is so poor. Outside of penalties and the odd long shot, you're not going to get that many returns from Douglas Luiz. Of course, he is on penalties, and he's on some corners, and he does have a great long shot, but I'd want the open play data to be slightly better. Callum says Watkins and Gordon with Diaby, or Saka and Adingra with Alvarez. I think as a combination, I prefer Saka, Adingra, and Alvarez. But Watkins, Gordon, and Diaby. These are such difficult decisions to be making at the moment. I would prioritize Saka ahead of Matoma. Matoma ahead of Watkins. Like if you can only get one of Saka and Watkins, I tried explaining this in my video, but I think I did a bad job. If you can only get one of Saka and Watkins, I think I slightly prefer Saka. If you are prioritizing the order to bring them in, I would prioritize bringing in Watkins before Saka because very soon Watkins' fixtures run out. Like the fixtures aren't great in like 4 or 5 game weeks. So I would prioritize Watkins before Saka if you're getting both. But if you are only going to be able to get one into your team over the foreseeable future, I would just go straight for Saka, I think. Hopefully that makes sense. But I don't think you need to break your team to get either in. Watkins and Saka are great options, but recent weeks have shown you, if you didn't own Salah, you could have absolutely still got green arrows. If you haven't owned Haaland, you would have been fine. If you didn't own Son, you would have been fine as well. Like, you don't have to own anyone in FPL at the moment. There are so many ways that you can pick up points. You just got to trust yourself. Udogie. We haven't got anything on Udogie yet. Nothing reliable anyway, sadly. I'm still trying to check. Nah, I can't. I'm very surprised. I thought we would get some Udoggy team news. I'm not going to lie. Or at least some early team news on Spurs. Nothing at the moment. Oh my God, my back hurts. If Bruno Halls, would you get him in for game week 11? Overlooked, question mark. Please don't tell me that Bruno's being overlooked. I've had Bruno every game week this season, apart from this game week. I've just sold him for Saka. But yes, I am. It wouldn't be next week, but in game week, when is it? I think around here, Bruno's got Luton, right, in game week 12. I may do Maddison to Bruno in game week 12. It wouldn't be for game week 11, though. But in game week 12, I may bring Bruno back in. Is Cresswell at 4.2 worth the risk? No, because Emerson could just come straight back in after his suspension. Would you start Porro or Gordon? I would start Gordon. Cash says, don't have any Arsenal assets, top 285k, 2 free transfers, Maddison to Martinelli, or do Haaland and Gordon to Alvarez and Saka. Definitely not the latter. If you're desperate to get an Arsenal asset, I would do Maddison to Martinelli, but I think Maddison is a better asset than Martinelli. Personally, myself. Start Alvarez or... I don't even know who that is. Oh, Solanke. I would start Solanke ahead of Alvarez, honestly. The fixture is there to attack. It really is. Gordon or Palmer? Gordon is a better asset than Palmer, in my opinion, but Palmer does have penalties, and he is cheaper. So take that into account, absolutely. But I slightly prefer Gordon to Palmer. I think Gordon's great. Again, my girlfriend's got Gordon. Very jealous that she owns him, in all honesty. TSIMIKAS or Gabriel? Gabriel long-term, TSIMIKAS short-term. Hi, Ross. Maddison and Neto to Bowen and Matoma no hit. Yeah, I don't mind that for free. That's quite a nice set of moves there. Guys, you've got 13 minutes till the deadline. Get those final questions in, and I will, of course, answer as many of them as I can. Sorry. I do apologize, by the way. If you are someone that drops your message in the chat every single week and I miss it, just know I'm not doing that deliberately. I actually checked the other day. I get 35,000 on average messages in the chat on a normal live stream. So I am not ignoring you, I promise. I just obviously can't answer everyone's. Ross, can you check out my drafts in DMs, please? Very briefly, I can, Calvin. 5 drafts. Jesus. Okay, Archer, Adingra, Son. Archer, Gordon, Son. Son, Maguire, Matoma. Adingra, Trippier. Right, I would want Son, Calvin. I like the one. Matoma. I think I like the Son and Matoma draft, Calvin, with Maguire in defence. Because I like Son and I like Matoma. So I would go that way, Calvin. But I did look at those very briefly. I did look at them very briefly. So sorry if that wasn't the best advice, but I like Son and Matoma. On the bench, wildcard, is Burn better than Gahey to get... Burn to Gahey to get 0.2 in the bank? Yeah, I would pick Gahey over Burn on wildcard this week. Yeah, I would do. Cole Palmer or Alvarez? This week, probably Cole Palmer. Home fixture on pens. Yeah, probably would be. I kind of want to captain Saka, chat. Kind of want to captain Saka. I'm not sure about Salah captain this week. Although, I said that last week. I did. I said it last week and he got 16 points. But Salah's great. But he's not getting lucky. He's not doing 15 and 16 points worth of... I feel like he's obviously got 2 penalties in the last couple of weeks. I just wonder, is Saka against Sheffield United a slightly better pick? Do you know what will be super frustrating, though? If you captain Saka and he gives a penalty to Ødegaard, that is going to be so annoying. Sorry, just trying to get round here. Vicario or Areola at goalkeeper? I would just go cheap, Areola. If you're asking who to start this week, it still probably is Areola. Currently, I have Salah, Son, Maddison, Bowen. I have 2 transfers. Should I do Bowen and Maddison to Saka and Matoma? Bowen and Maddison to Saka and Matoma. No, I wouldn't do that. But it is for free, so I don't hate it, Alex. If you really want to do it, do it. I just don't. I don't know why you're selling Bowen. I hate the idea of selling Bowen this week. Bowen's done nothing to deserve being sold, but everyone wants to get rid. I don't get it. I guess it's to get Saka in. I do understand that, but surely you knew that when you bought Bowen. Like, why now the sudden change? 2 free transfers. You doggy to Gabriel and roll the other. Gahey would play, or Son to Saka and Neto to Matoma. You doggy to Gabriel. Yeah. Gahey would play, or Son to Saka and Neto to Matoma. I just think you doggy to Gabriel's fine. I don't know that you need to do Son to Saka. But I do think that Saka and Matoma is a better combination than Son and Neto. So I do get that again. Tom says Foden to Saka, Maddison to Salah, and Trippier to TSIMIKAS. Do you know what? I actually don't mind that, Tom, as a 3. I actually don't mind that at all. Kyle says, hi, Ross. Hope you had a good day. I did, thank you. Very tired, though. Trippier, Maddison, Alvarez to Saliba, Saka, Watkins from -4. I already have Haaland as 1 striker, so double City. I don't mind it. If it was for free, definitely, but obviously it's 3 transfers, so it couldn't be. I think that's a slight upgrade, but selling Trippier, Maddison, and Alvarez as part of a -4 also has terrible potential to go wrong. Take out Ward-Prowse or Neto to bring in Gordon. Ward-Prowse is a bigger issue for me. I would keep Neto. Ward-Prowse just is playing like defensive midfield. Wildcard team from Khan. Any suggestions with 0.2 in the bank? No, I love that. I would have Saka. Oh, you've got Saka. Oh, wow. How on earth can you afford that? Oh, you've got no Haaland, of course. I was like, how on earth have you afforded that team? There is no Haaland. No, it's lovely, mate, Khan. If you're going to drop Haaland, that is the way to do it. That is a perfect team. Watkins captain. I like Watkins captain. No issue with Watkins captain. I would say Salah, Haaland, Saka, Watkins in that order for me. So Salah, Haaland, Saka, Watkins is the way that I would view captaincy. But it really is just guesswork. Like, all 4 of them are great captains. Would you bench Sterling at home to Brentford or Alvarez? Sterling's just not been at it. I would bench Sterling and I'd play Alvarez. Mbeumo and Alvarez for Saka and Nketiah. Yeah, do you know what? I don't mind that, Mario. I don't mind that, Mario. Bench one of Diaby, Maddison, Bowen, and Darwin. Bench one of Diaby, Maddison, Bowen, and Darwin. I would bench... Oh, wow. Darwin or Maddison. I wouldn't bench Diaby and Bowen. Probably Darwin and hope that he's benched. But if you think Darwin starts, I would bench Maddison, which I hate. But I don't think you can bench Diaby or Bowen. Great home fixtures for them. Is it worth trading Maddison for Saka? I already have Son. Is it worth trading Maddison for Saka? If it's for free, yes. But if it's for a hit, no. Mbeumo to Matoma for a hit. Or just start João Pedro ahead of Mbeumo. Just start João Pedro, Omar. I wouldn't do Mbeumo to Matoma for a hit. Saka, Adingra, and TSIMIKAS for Neto, Maddison, and Udogi for a -4. Yeah, I quite like that. And Antha. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Do we have any news on Udogi? I don't think so. I think that Udogi will start, but I haven't seen any early team news. I haven't seen any early team news. But I think Udogi will start. But that is just a guess. Please don't follow that as being gossip. That's really just a guess. Son and Darwin to Salah and Nketiah for a -8. Son and Darwin to Salah and Nketiah for a -8. No. Hate that. Hate that a lot. Sorry. Would you do Mbeumo to Saka for a -4 if he was in your team? Yes. I probably... Yeah, I probably would. I'd be tempted anyway. I don't know that I necessarily definitely would. Let me just quickly tweak my team because I've already got it loaded and ready. Cool. I can actually tweet it before the deadline because I've made my moves yesterday, right? Let me pin that to my profile. Ross, Matoma for captain. Oof, that's a brave one. I don't hate it, but I just think the fact that Matoma played 90 minutes in Europe, I'm less of a fan of it. I'm slightly less of a fan of it. Yeah, honestly, doesn't look like we're going to get early team news. I'm very surprised. We quite often get Spurs early team news as well. I mean, we do have a few minutes, but lock in your teams as if we're not going to get early team news. And if we get it in the next few minutes, I will let you know, absolutely. But start locking in your teams just in case, right? I need to just make sure my team's sorted as well. Yeah, we're good. I'm happy with my team this week. Double Spurs mids tonight could be painful. How many players do you have in tonight's kickoff? How many of you have kept a hold of Son and Maddison? Looks like they might be slight differentials based on the amount of people that are selling them. Ross, what are the captaincy rates? Salah is at 65%, Watkins at 18%, and then Haaland and Saka at about 8% apiece. Then there might be a few other captains. That was roughly what it was. We're looking at Salah is comfortably the most popular captain this week. And then Watkins is second favourite. I would say Salah, Haaland, Saka, Watkins, but I think all four of them are great. I honestly do. I have no issue with any of those four. I don't even mind a Son captain, really. Yes, it's the early kickoff. Well, technically the late kickoff. And yes, it's not a great fixture, but I still don't mind Son. But Saka is a great captain. Oh, I'd quite like to captain Saka, in all honesty. Palmer or Adingra on Wildcard? Adingra for me. I would take the risk on Adingra. Better fixtures. Udogie and Maddison, Saka and Taylor for free. It depends if you have to start Taylor. If you have to start Taylor, no. If Taylor can go to your bench, then yes, Ross. I like that. 3 minutes until the deadline. As Gabriel says, lock in those teams. I'm triple captaining Watkins. Wow. I love it. I love it. Absolutely mental. Sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring the chat. I'm just scrolling through Twitter to see if we can get anything. Cool, this is tough. No, it really doesn't look... There's nothing. There's two accounts that are pretending to have team news, but I've never seen anything from them before, so I would guess they are predictions. Yeah, I can't see anything. Lots of people are asking about Palmer and Adingra. Palmer is the safer asset with respect to probably minutes, and he's on pens, but I just like the fixtures for Adingra. I think Adingra is a great shout. This is the only week where I'm slightly... Oh, camera's gone. This is the only week where I'm slightly concerned. Because obviously he's played 90 minutes in Europe. But otherwise, yeah, I think Adingra is the better asset for the time being. Maybe move to Palmer around game week 15. That would be my plan. You've got 2 minutes until, or less than 2 minutes until the deadline. Please make sure that your teams are locked in. Keeping Richarlison the ultimate differentiator. There are rumours going around that Richarlison is benched and that Brennan Johnson's starting. I can't confirm those rumours, but I would be a little bit worried about keeping Richarlison. I would be maybe tempted to sell. But again, it's only rumours. It's nothing legitimate yet. Just lock in the app can glitch and you won't save your team. Yeah, just lock in. There's less than a minute now till the deadline. Doesn't look like, sadly, very sadly, it doesn't look like we're going to get you doggy news. So yeah, just get your teams locked in. Right. I think I can't believe I'm benching Alvarez. Jesus, what is wrong with me? Benching Alvarez feels crazy, but there we go. Right, yeah, we're not going to get it. Literally just like 10 seconds till the deadline by the time you hear my voice. We're not going to get you doggy news, I'm afraid. Get your teams locked in. Make sure you don't leave, by the way. Start you doggy or Neto. I'd start Neto. And hope that they get something. I think you're fine starting or benching you doggy. It's up to you, really. Just take the risk. I think you doggy will start, but I don't know for certain. Right, that is it. Locked in. We are locked. Oh, and breathe. And breathe. We made it. We made it. Now we can talk about Ross's abs. Let's do it. Sorry, I was just messaging my girlfriend. Nearly switched my captain last minute, but I always mess up doing that, so decided to stick. Who did you captain, FPL Pickle? Ross, can I be your gym partner? I've already got a gym partner, which is my girlfriend. But yeah, you can be my second gym partner for sure. Oh, God. My back is battered. FPL Pickle is captaining Salah. I respect it. It's the safe captaincy choice, I think. When's the deadline? 1 minute ago, the deadline was. Who's your girlfriend? My girlfriend's my girlfriend. What do you mean, who's my girlfriend? Ah, my back is so sore. I need to stretch, but I can't stand up because I'm streaming. Chat, shall I find a way to stand up? I don't know if I can. This is the issue. This is when you find out I've got no clothes on underneath. I do really. Chat, I'm just standing up for a sec. Give me a second. The lower back is done for. Look how tall I am. Chat, I told you I'm 6'5". Told you. You didn't believe me. What is a Raptors plans on a Friday night? Usually Raptors plans is my girlfriend comes to stay with me because we don't live together yet. But she's busy tonight, so I've got a Friday night by myself. I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'll watch the Spurs game and I'll probably have an early night. Really boring. That helped a bit, actually. That actually did help a little bit. Ain't no way you're 6'5". Don't be 4 he's 5'6". We're not starting this again. Let your lady give you a back massage. I wish she would. She's off gallivanting around like an absolute extrovert. Big Man says, focal stream ended, popped in to find Ross bending over the camera. It did look a bit sus. My lower back hurts, right? And I wanted to stand up, but then I thought if I stand up, you're just going to be looking at my crotch. Like my crotch would be right in front of the camera. So I thought I'll try and be less sus by bending over, but that looked even... Do you know what? It's just all sus. So it's all sus. Zodiac says, I hope you compliment your girlfriend just as much as you complimented Son in all your videos this week. Oh, don't you worry. She gets complimented constantly. Hardly. What does hardly mean? Hardly what? What Storm's he saying now? Who did you guys go with for captaincy? Sharky went for Salah. Stormzy went for Salah. I think most people will captain Salah this week. Funnily enough, I think Salah could blank, but I just went for it just because I didn't fancy any of the other options enough. How much money do you earn from super chats? I take 70% of whatever the number is that you can see. So if someone donates £5, I take whatever 70% of £5 is. Quick maths. So yeah, £3.50. Quick maths. And then YouTube take 30%. So you can add up based on what you think, based on that. Your girlfriend's about to go make poached eggs with another man. I hope not. She better not be. No egg poaching with other men. Would you make more money doing it on TikTok? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Can we see your girlfriend's team? Yeah, let me show you. I think she sent it to me earlier, actually. One sec. I think this is her team. I have to switch to Zoom because otherwise you won't be able to see it. It's a good team. It honestly is a better team than mine. Like, that's not me making her feel better or like that is a better team than my team. She's got Haaland, which I don't have. She's still got Salah, Son, Saka. She's got Gabriel, who I don't have. She's got Gordon, who's a great... It's just a better team. It's just the sad truth, right? I would love to pretend it's not. Sorry, I've just realised you're just looking at my big face now. Hello. There you go. Are you secretly controlling her team? Genuinely not. So if you want to know how I met my girlfriend because she watches my live streams. She's been watching me for over... That sounds sus. What a stalker. She's been watching me for like over a year. So she obviously knows FPL quite well. I genuinely don't help her much at all, if at all, really. She makes all of her own decisions. If I was controlling her team, I wouldn't have Haaland in it, would I? There you go. Was there a Udoggy update? No, we didn't get one, sadly, but I think he'll start, is my prediction. Did you just fart again, Ross? What are all these fart allegations? I would never fart on stream. What is your girlfriend's rank? She's 1 point ahead of me. Come on, Ross. Your girlfriend's colour coordination is useless. It is a little bit, isn't it? Tell them I have... Do you know what she's just put? She's just put, tell them I have 0.3 in the bank as well. All right. Sorry. Show off. I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, I can't remember. No, it's not my second team. This is so frustrating. She'll feature on a video at some point and you will be shocked. Like, she knows FPL so much better than, like, probably most content creators. Her FPL knowledge is ridiculous. Right, she's going to love this. Someone just put, she'd probably be further ahead of you if you hadn't let her sleep through the deadline that one time. It's her fault for falling asleep. How am I responsible for that? She shouldn't have fell asleep, should she? How many points are you on? I am on 573. Oh. Bro's reading the notes app like a text. Do you know what? I've had it up to here. I want to... Okay. There, look. That I'm not messaging myself. That is from girlfriend. Right? Thank you. Bro reading the notes app. Do you know what? I've had all sorts. I've had people say that my girlfriend is actually AI. I've had people say that it's actually my mum that people can hear talking in the room. People are saying I'm now reading the notes app. That's not my mum. My mum doesn't send me winking faces. Bro has 2 phones. Kind of sad just messaging yourself. The second phone is on his lap. I bet my girlfriend will find this funny as well, on top of everything else. Bro's mum is messaging him. Is your girlfriend hot? Yeah, she is. Smoking. She does winky faces the wrong way round. Yeah, she kind of does, doesn't she? I would agree with that. Stop messaging ChatGPT. Oh, chat, you do my nut in. Honestly. It's not funny. I don't find this nonsense funny. What is your favourite egg-related movie title? Mine is 50 Shades of Egg. I respect that. Is your girlfriend Indian? No, she's she's Birmingham. She's not Indian, she's Birmingham. Bro's just messaging Focal. Yeah. Show the draft league. It's not updated yet, has it, Calvin? It will take a while. Will your missus be a guest star? Yeah, she'll guest on the channel at some point. Yeah, for sure. Don't know what you're laughing at, FPL Pickle. For God's sake. Someone is still asking who to buy. Yeah, you've missed the deadline. If someone's asking who to buy, you've missed the deadline. I didn't see that. This chat is so unsophisticated compared to Focal's. Listen, you could call it unsophisticated or you could call it fun. You know, I think we are... Chat, we're very sophisticated, aren't we? I'm from Birmingham. Don't diss us. Nah, I love Birmingham now. Birmingham's got a soft place in my heart. Thoughts on the Birmingham accent? I'll be honest, I've never been a massive fan of it, but I love her accent. So I don't think it's actually as bad as I thought. It's not that bad. I'm not saying it's my favourite accent, but I like hers. So I met Chunks in Saudi Arabia, Ross, whilst doing Umrah. Chunks is one of the nicest people you'll meet. So Storms. If you ever get the pleasure of meeting Storms or Chunks in person, genuinely lovely people. Truly. This is her response to... Wait, let her finish typing in case she says something that she doesn't want to show. Peaky Blinders accent. It is, yeah. Would you like to send a voice note, girlfriend? Then the chat will know that you're real, of your Birmingham accent. What are you typing that's taking this long? He says I wasn't typing, you were. I'm exposing her kind message. Wait, no, not that bad. Rude. I wasn't typing. Chat, this is obviously not me, right? I've not got 2 phones. AI voices anyway. Do you know what? Chat? Screw you. Screw you. Is her surname Shelby? No. She doesn't really sound like the Peaky Blinders. Why are you taking... You know what? Chat. Right, change the subject. You're pissing me off. I'm not sitting here with you all telling me that I'm making up my girlfriend, that she's not real. Her surname is Mabama. Facts. Facts. He's doing it with these toes, guys. We've got them. What team does she support? She supports Aston Villa. She supports Aston Villa. Is your heart okay? Yeah, if you missed it, I was in hospital on Wednesday. I had really bad chest pain. So basically, I started feeling a really, really sharp pain in my chest on Monday. And I thought it might be a muscle spasm, or I'd basically just to see what happened. And then on Tuesday, the pain spread to my back and I started to feel like numbness in my arm. So I was like, chest pain and numbness in my arm. Like, I really do need to go somewhere. So I was getting checked out. They don't think it was heart related or a blood clot. They think it was maybe a pinched nerve, but they did discover a heart murmur whilst I was there. A heart murmur doesn't necessarily have to be something to worry about, so it doesn't mean I'm dying or anything like that. But it is something that I need to get checked out at some point. Classic case of selling Haaland on the wildcard gave me a heart gave me a heart attack. That's what happens when you sell Haaland. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You know. You should start matchmaking in the chat. Shall I? Shall I just start randomly picking names to go together? Please don't die. You're my favorite egg. I'll try not to. A lot of people said like anxiety and stress, but I'm actually feeling okay. Like it wasn't, I was actually sat there with my girlfriend having a lovely day, genuinely not stressed in the slightest. I had a really, really good day, had a lovely weekend. So like if I was having a really stressful moment in my life, like maybe so, but I wasn't. So I don't think so. 99% of people are men in here. They're not actually. Do you know what? This is how I met my girlfriend. Fun fact. Someone said this exact thing. Someone said, like, everyone in here is men. And I was like, there are some girls in the chat. Comment if you're a girl in the chat. She commented. And then I slid into her DMs. Hey. FPL Rizta. Yes, FPL Pickle correctly says we can't dismiss all chest pain as stress. Facts. So are you technically dating a fan? Technically, yes. Technically, she is a fan. Yeah. I can run a poll, but don't lie in the poll. Please just actually be honest. What sex are you? This isn't me ruling out other genders. I'm asking for your sex, not your gender here. Man or woman. Or prefer not to say. There you go. I'll add an option as a proper psychologist. Man, woman, prefer not to say. The reason that I commented, I'm in psychology, and I know there's a very big difference between sex and gender. And there's also, obviously, people that don't want to mention what sex or gender they are. So, there you go. You doggy's not in the squad. Really? Where are we seeing that? Let's head over to... Oh. Let's head over to Twitter. Twitter. Oh, shouldn't expose my DM, should I? Has anyone tagged me in it? Oh, here we go. This guy. You doggy not in the squad, Madison and okay. You doggy starters. Who are you getting off the bench? I called that one wrong. I thought you doggy would be fine. Maybe he failed a late fitness test. Are you all telling me lovely stuff about my team, I hope? Right. Let me switch back over here. So currently, 87% of people voting are male, 7% are a man, 7% are women. God, my plurals and singulars there. And then 5% would prefer not to say. So it looks like we've got about 5 to 10% of the chat are women. FPL Raptor is a ladies' man. Not anymore, because I'm taken, but, you know. Raptor isn't real, he is AI. Did your girlfriend Captain Watkins as a Villa fan? No, she's quite kind of... she is a Villa fan, but she's not very biased. So she's pretty good at kind of removing that bias. So she's Captain Salah. How do you like your eggs in the morning? I like my eggs in the morning with avocado, toast, and a bit of paprika and black pepper. Fried. So what you do, some seeded bread, crushed avocado on top of the toast, then some fried eggs. And when you're frying the eggs, if you put some black pepper and some paprika, probably smoked paprika, and then you put the fried egg on, do you know what? I've probably got a picture. It's going to look ugly, but bear with me here. Where's a picture of... I would have taken a picture at some point of my... It's going to look really ugly, right? But bear in mind, I was taking this for my girlfriend, not for you guys. Also bear in mind that it will look burnt, but this is the paprika. Oh, no, it's not green, is it? One sec. It looks gross, but it's not. So toast, avocado, fried eggs with some paprika, slaps. Slaps. Oh, was my camera gone a bit? Which way do I want it? I want it further that way. That way. Lovely. There is no women in this chat, let's be real. Two of my moderators are women. I don't know what you're going on about. How do I get back? Tell them about my chicken. Yeah, my girlfriend cooked for me the other day. That chicken was unbelievable. It was the best chicken I've ever eaten in my life. Hands down. Find yourself a woman that can cook, let me tell you that. Oof. Unbelievable. Ross, what was your first message to your girlfriend? I just slid into her DMs and just said... Because she was being... Like, a lot of the chat we're talking about... I was kind of flirting with her quite obviously in the chat. And so I just messaged her saying, sorry for you being like the main focus of the stream today. And I just sprinkled a little bit of Riz in there. And that was the first message. You know? A bit of YouTube Riz. Wasn't FPL Riz, it was YouTube Riz. There you go. What are your top 3 cuisines? Raptor. Italian, Indian, and Greek. Oh, yeah. I've nailed that. Italian, Indian, and Greek. Greek food, a bit of tzatziki, some pita bread, a bit of hummus, a bit of red pepper hummus. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. I really fancy Greek food now. Chicken souvlaki. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's the good stuff. I'm a hungry man. Oh, I want some Greek food. There is a great Greek place. If you are ever in Nottingham, this place here, great Greek. Really, really nice Greek restaurant. God, now I'm just thinking about food. Yum. Yeah, olives. Wow. Ross, food is not the topic now. It's midnight here in Thailand. I'm so hungry. I just want tzatziki, hummus, and pita bread. That's all I want right now. Aiden says, missed my super chat. When did you do a super chat, Aiden? Oh, yeah, hello. Needed 0.4 to get Saka. Did Anderson to Maguire and didn't realise I could have done you doggy to TSIMIKAS. Tell me it's going to be okay, Baldy. That's okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but no, it will be okay. David says, please unblock me on X. I've DM'd you a picture of Elise. Sorry. But why did I block you, David? I clearly blocked you for a reason, didn't I? Also, how are you DMing me if I blocked you? That's the real question. Now the deadline has passed, box or NZ? I don't even know what that means. This is rugby, isn't it? Oh, okay. I've never watched rugby in my life. I'm so sorry. So whichever one you want me to cheer on, I will do that. You should get married, Raptor. I will. Not quite yet, but I will. Where is it in Nottingham? It's in West Bridgeford. It's in West Bridgeford. Not in like the city centre. It's right near the city ground, actually. It's like a not 30 second, like a 1 minute walk from the city ground. By Trent Bridge Inn, if you know the Trent Bridge Inn, Weatherspoons. Yeah, it's called Kazina. It's a really nice Greek place. Do you watch cricket? I don't watch cricket. I don't watch rugby. I don't really watch many things outside of Premier League football, in all honesty. I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man. Are you still watching F1, Ross? I'll be honest, I haven't been. It got so boring just watching Max penetrate everyone every week. Elliot says Kazina is amazing. I went to university in Notts. Glad someone can confirm. Yeah, it's a lovely restaurant. Bro, I've got to pay to DM people on X. Yeah, you have to be a Twitter Blue member now to DM. It's weird, isn't it? How many hours a week do you teach? Not that many, in all honesty. Like between 8 and 12 hours of teaching. But obviously you've got prep and you've got to travel and stuff like that. So it makes up about 20 hours a week of my time teaching. Ross, why are you doing uni if FPL was done so well? I was already into my PhD when I started doing FPL YouTube, so I'm not going to quit. I'm not a quitter. Bro has kidnapped one of his students. What? A lot of my students watch... a lot of my students watch my videos. It's crazy. My mate goes to NTU, and I asked if she'd seen you around campus, and she said, he looks like every bald man ever. That's rude, Chris. I do not look like every bald man ever. What do you teach, Blood? I teach sports psychology, Blood. 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 Do you like my blood? Like, it's the emphasis on the blah. Why is FPL pickle lowing? Rude. Favorite Kazina dish got to be the lamb for me. My girlfriend got the lamb. So good. Is it the lamb in the red wine sauce? I had a little bit of hers because I'm actually not that big into lamb. But what did we had the chicken souvlaki. It's just that tzatziki, honestly. We got like 2 portions of tzatziki, 2 portions of hummus. Perfection. Do you teach at Nottingham Trent or Notts? NTU. Yeah, I teach at NTU. Big up Clifton Campus. Big up. Yeah, Clifton Campus. Lamb is amazing, mate. I'm honestly not a big lamb fan. Sorry. It's got a very strong flavour. How smooth is your head? Smooth. Oh, my hat's been digging into my head. My head always looks so big when I first take my hat off, but if I'd have started the stream without a hat, it wouldn't look... I look like Megamind. It's a big old head, but it's not actually... Like, my forehead isn't actually that big. Like, it's really not. Like, proportionally, but... Wow, that just blinded me. Damn. Right, chat, this is why I don't get my head out very often. I'm retreating into my shell. Mr. Potato Head. I can see why you wear the cap. That head is massive. All right. I want to slap it. Now I'm hiding because you've all been mean to me. Bro is packing some serious egg. That's so rude. He scored last minute versus United. Footy banter, sorry. Wait, what? What's happened? I don't know what's happened. Oh, I don't know. There you go. Eggy and Ketia. Oh, not the Eggy names again. Oh, the team will be out in 2 minutes. I really, really want to put a plunger on it. You want to put a plunger on my head? Oh, you blocked him because he sent you a photo of Elise after he scored against United. That wouldn't have been why I blocked him. I wouldn't block someone for that. Mount Everest. Here we go from FPL Pickle. You are a good sport. You know how to laugh about yourself. Great stream. Listen, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're in for a pretty rough life. I'll be honest. Lavender you get on my head. What? Eggy weggy. Not eggy weggy. Measure your head. I think I actually have a tape measure. Don't ask why I have a tape measure. That's not sus. There we go. This is how big it is. I'm not going to say what, but this is how big it is. Measure my head. Okay. Chat, I can't believe I'm doing. Never thought I'd be measuring my head in front of 2,000 people. But here we go. Right. The tape measure's out. Wait. Which way am I measuring? Am I measuring my forehead or am I measuring how big my head is? My forehead. Are we going from eyebrow? Wait. This is hard to do without a mirror. About 3-inch forehead. The circumference. Okay, God. Oh, it's all twisted. Why is 4 inches marked? Shut up, Calvin. Okay. A 23-inch head. Right, now we're going to go. Alexa, is a 23-inch head big?
Perched on a nearly 5-meter plinth, it is the largest head in the world.
Right, Alexa, is a 23-inch head big?
From IstanbulBear.org. Perched on a nearly 5-meter plinth, it is the largest head in the world.
She's not listening to me. Bro, that's world record. Is that what she's telling me? Is she telling me that... how big is the average head? The average male head is 22.5 inches. I'm only half an inch bigger than the average male. Not like that. That's sus. I'm only half an inch bigger than the average male. My egg is not world record size. I bet your girlfriend is pleased. Stop it, chat. No, that's only 2 inches. 2.5 on a good day. My head is 20 inches, hence why my graduate hats be pinned. So FPL Pickle, my head is only 3 inches bigger than yours. Maybe you're the one with the giant egg head. 3 inches isn't that big. 3 inches actually is massive. Chat, is 3 inches massive? It's massive, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Let's look at the team news. 3 inches is big. If anyone tells you 3 inches isn't big, they're lying. Spurs. Here we go. Oh, Richarlison starts. Okay, that person got exposed. I feel like my light might die soon, you know? I feel like it's probably teetering on the edge. Teetering is a great word. If you don't use the word teetering, start using it. 3 inches is unreasonably big. Thank you, Kieran. Cannon fodder, 3 inches is gigantic. It's enormous. Huge. Chat, 3 inches is massive. I told you. If someone can also tell my girlfriend that, it'd be great. Teetering is the most British word on the planet. Start using it. Teetering. What is the official definition for teetering? Move or balance unsteadily, sway back and forth. If you are not currently using the word teetering in your vocabulary, that is your word of the day, is to teeter. To teeter. If you teeter, you balance unsteadily. So when something is teetering on the edge, it means that it is kind of hanging on for dear life. Luds just says, show fit pics of girlfriend. No, Luds. Naughty. I shall not be doing that. Claudette says, my head is 20.5 inches. Works for me. That's a pretty small head, Claudette. That's good. No big head from Claudette. Teetering on the edge. What's your life quote you remind yourself of every day, Ross? I don't know. I don't know if I have a quote. I'm not sure. Can we rate your girlfriend's feet? Right, you're outrageous. Why have you been searching for forehead reduction surgery? Can you imagine? Ross, whatever happened to traveling around the world and couch surfing with your viewers? Did you go anywhere? No, I need to at some point. Ross, give us an FPL quote for every day. I could do. Bro, how do you measure your forehead when you're bald? Where exactly do you stop? That's a good point, in all honesty. Do you know what? I respect it. What I was going to show you. Show us fit pics of you. I don't have any fit pics anymore. No fit pics of me. Don't do that stuff anymore. Don't be doing that. My head is 29 inches. There is no way your head is 29. You've measured that wrong. If you've measured your head at how big is the world's biggest head? 18 feet. That's an animal's head. The biggest human head ever found. I don't know about cranial capacity. Who can? Oh, do you know what? I don't know. I feel like your head's not that big. Show us your Google history. Let's go. It's just going to be like so much FPL stuff. Only FPL stuff. Only FPL stuff. All right, chat. I think I'm going to call it there because I'm so hungry, you know. I want to eat. We've got Liverpool, but that's not even Liverpool, that's Spurs. That's our Thailand. We've got the Spurs line up. I've got Maddison and Son. They're going to smash it tonight. Salah captain's going to go well. Haaland's going to be pocketed by Harry Maguire. It's going to be a great week in general. So, I love you all very much. Drop a like on your way out. Make sure to subscribe as well. I will see you on Sunday for another transfer plans video. And we will assess if the no Haaland draft continues to do well. Maybe we could do well again. I doubt it. I think this might be the week we struggle. But yeah, I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. If you're one of the people that stays to the end and you enjoy the post-deadline stream, I love you. Keep being you. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will catch you soon. Bye.